Welcome to Curse of Strahd! This, by the way, is lightning. The fingers.
Yeah.
That's in
Look at
case that wasn't clear. And also, for those of you who might just be listening to the audio version, I wanted you to know that I'm doing lightning fingers.
And all this time I thought it was the itsy bitsy spider.
Well, see, if it was raining, the spider would have been washed out.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but now comes the sun, you know?
Yeah. Well, you guys need to work on that.
It's on the list.
Yeah. So, I'm Christiana Ellis, and I'm the Dungeon Master. And we're playing Dungeons & Dragons, Curse of Strahd. And our players today, we have Tim Dodge playing Pavel.
Hey.
We have Mark Kilfoyle playing Rockjaw.
I learned nothing.
We have Nobilis playing Zia.
We are doomed.
And Lee Burdett playing Honor with her wolf companion Anubis.
Hello. I want to say good morning, but it's not morning anymore.
Well, technically it's dark. You don't know exactly what time it is. It's in the middle of the night. You were disturbed in the middle of your long rest.
We're disoriented.
So, you guys have fewer NPC companions this time than you did last time.
Yay, less to worry about.
Your friend, the were-raven Adrian Mardikoff, did not return as planned, and you have been told that his family's winery is likely to be under siege by Strahd's minions. Your elven friend, Casimir, decided that his people were more important than your quest, and he conceded to Strahd's demands, handing over the Tomb of Strahd in exchange for protection of some safety. Ismark, the young man from the town of Barovia, whose sister is Strahd's current bride, apparently, was charmed by Strahd and gave him the Sun Sword before running off into the rain.
Who needs him?
Esmeralda's still here.
Yes.
We also have our missing player character. Nutty is unable to join us today. Her character, Shadow, is still here as well. And you guys had been surrounded. Well, so, last time you finished dealing with Baba Lysaga in the swamp ruins of Berez by basically killing her house. And then she said, "What do you even want anyway?" And you said it was the gem, and she said, "Fine, take it." And you said, "Okay," and left.
A deal's a deal.
Yeah. And so that's why Adrian left, actually, as he was intending to return it to his family's winery, but he did not rejoin you as planned. But then you made your way back towards the direction of Castle Ravenloft, stopping in a couple of places to look at a distance at various landmarks and decide not to go there. For example, an apparent large fire in the town of Vallaki. Nope, no thanks. Windmill? Yeah, let's cut across open land instead of using the road to stay away from the windmill. And then you made camp in the middle of the night, seemingly safe inside Leoman's tiny hut cast by Zia. But then in the middle of the night, Strahd shows up. He's got a bunch of wolves and werewolves with him.
Like 500 of them or something like that.
Yeah, that was pretty much
it's
it.
like 500.
Yeah, it's a lot. At least 500. And basically told you, you guys had his book and his sword and he wanted them back. And first he promised, you know what? Hand him over. You can leave Barovia with all the treasure you can carry. And you guys didn't like that idea. So he said, all right, how about I kill everybody you love unless you hand them to me right now? And that one was a little bit more tempting for a few people. But ultimately, Casimir gave the book over. You guys persuaded Ismark to not turn over the sword on the basis that Strahd's probably not trustworthy. So Strahd dispelled your magic hut that you thought you were safe in, and everybody attacked. Things went pretty bad. Casimir and Ismark are gone. Strahd left with the sword. And it was not going well. But then your old buddy the abbot showed up.
He's my new best friend.
Helped you finish off the remaining wolves and werewolves. And so as we left last time, he had faced off all the hostile combatants and then turned to those of you who he had met before and just says, "You can't follow simple instructions." And so, just as a brief recap, anyone didn't see that part of the adventure, the abbot is a celestial, kind of an angel. He's also apparently batshit crazy because he thinks that the solution to Strahd is to create essentially a Frankenstein's monster bride for Strahd that will satisfy his desire for companionship, let's say, but without the resulting destruction and loss of life and so on.
Well, it's not completely batshit crazy if the bride he constructed didn't drool so much.
She was a work in progress when you guys saw her. Come on.
The beta.
Yeah. He was still training her stuff. Anyway, you guys had negotiated sort of a truce with Strahd back then. Didn't hold. And you kind of just never went back on the basis that he wouldn't be glad to see you. So now he has shown up again. He's looking down at you. He's just saved you, although you were doing okay. You killed a bunch of wolves and werewolves. Rockjaw in particular found an especially effective weapon. Yeah. But so
you could say that he used the wolves against themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Werewolves make excellent clubs.
So the abbot is looking down at all of you and just said, "So I suppose we'll have to go to Plan B."
Plan? What plan?
What is Plan B?
Yes.
Because you have allowed the object of Strahd's desires to be taken by him, and he has once again repeated a new cycle of his pattern. Our objective is unchanged in the sense that he must be wed to Vasilka to end the curse. However, Irina is currently in the way. And so, as regrettable as it may be, our objective now must be to kill her.
Oh no.
Not unless Strahd has turned him into a vampire.
There is no other way.
Destroying Strahd would do it.
That is impossible.
Seems to me you hit pretty hard.
Indeed, but this entire land is Strahd's prison. It is built for him. It is him in many respects.
It is also the thing that prevents him from falling into the abyss that he so richly deserves. You of all people should understand this.
Do not presume to lecture what I should understand. I am ageless. I am a transcended being.
When was the
I
last
have
time,
wisdom beyond your comprehension.
And when was the last time you spoke with your master?
I do not need to speak with my master to know his will.
Yes.
Who are you,
I'll speak
anyway?
with. Okay. Rockjaw, take it.
Right.
The wings kind of fold back, and in a very sort of smooth transition, he now looks more like a regular human man, although sort of slightly unnaturally handsome, and kind of difficult to determine his age, but at least not obviously supernatural anymore. But he says, "I am the abbot. I currently reside at the Abbey of St. Markovia, and it is my purpose to end the curse on Strahd von Zarovich and free all who are imprisoned here.
How long you been working at that?
It has been many hundreds of years. I have tried many things, and the first thing that I believe will be successful is a plan that was in progress and then interrupted, but I mean to resume it.
Hundreds of years. I ain't got that time to wait.
I do not intend that you wait hundreds of years. The time for the plan is now.
So you think killing this other woman would do something to Strahd?
Strahd is obsessed with her. He believes her to be the reincarnation of his long-departed love. He has psychological compulsions driving him to seek her out, and he will not rest as long as she is alive. What we need is for her to be eliminated from the picture. As regrettable as that is, the loss of life that will result from allowing her to remain at his side is so much greater that the ends must justify the means.
Will it hurt him?
He will be insanely furious. That is why you must do it, separately from me. He already sees you as his adversaries. You will be taking great risk upon yourselves by drawing his fury in that way. But then I will be able to bring Vasilka in to soothe his anger.
He's not mad at you too?
No. He and I have come to an understanding. We have views in opposition. However, neither of us have sunk to open combat with one another.
So you're a coward?
He just kind of looks at you and say, your understanding of the situation is so limited, I don't believe that I could even begin to explain to you.
You're powerful enough to take him on, but you dance around him. You bow down to him even.
I know how futile it is to try to defeat the curse in open combat. If you kill him, the curse will just bring him back. The cursed cycle must be ended.
Have you tried killing him?
The nature of the curse is obvious to me. I do not engage in pointless behavior.
So you haven't tried?
He looks back at like the rest of you and just says, I understand you have reservations at killing a former ally. Know that she is likely in his clutches and that ending her torment will be a mercy to her.
As much as this creature's argument is vile and repulsive and unseemly for a celestial, there is a certain logic to it. And when we go into the castle, there may be a point at which we decide that the best thing for Irina might be her demise. I would not do it in order to further this disgusting plan. But the events may conspire to bring such a thing about. So I don't think we should be completely dismissive of this insane idea.
Until such time that she actually becomes a mortal threat to us, it would be unjust for us to kill her. She is an innocent victim in this situation. She didn't ask to be taken by Strahd. She is a former ally of ours, and until I'm convinced that she means to do us harm, I cannot countenance her being killed.
Nevertheless,
Strahd, I'll kill her.
We should see what the situation is like inside the castle before we go any further.
I cannot
I think we
force
should
your
do-
hand in these matters because I must remain separate in order to avoid tainting the possibilities of Vasilka. However, if
Is
you
there any
attempt
way
to
for you
defeat...
to facilitate us getting a rest so that we may go in at somewhat better strength than we are at?
Yes. I can stand guard here and allow you to rest.
Then,
All right.
in exchange for that, I am willing to maintain an open mind with regard to this plan.
Know that it is foolish and futile to attempt to defeat Strahd himself. If you attempt to rescue Irina, even if you are successful in extracting her from the castle, which is highly unlikely, even if you were to be successful, Strahd would never rest. She would be constantly fleeing the master of these lands for every moment of the rest of her life. Better to end that torment, and save many others in the process.
She would still have hope.
And
Would she? What hope is that?
While she draws breath, she still has hope.
Hope for
She
what?
may not draw breath anymore. She could be like those other ones. Dead. Walking around.
Indeed.
If I get a chance, then it'll hurt Strahd. I'll kill her.
Well, rest now, if it is your intent to travel to Castle Ravenloft in the morning. Know that she will likely be in the bedrooms of the towers.
Then we'll know where to look.
If you must rest then, rest. Prepare yourselves. Castle Ravenloft is a dangerous place. And then he actually kind of just turns his back on you and kind of just goes to just stand alert.
I'm going to cast Lema's tiny hut again,
Okay.
just in case. And then we can prepare to take a long rest.
Yep. And
Okay.
sure enough, under the abbot's, presence, you are not disturbed by anything. It's just as well to have the hut taken care of because it is still pouring rain.
Yeah, I figured at the very least we'd want it for that.
Yeah. It's also you realize just it's sort of an odd visual effect that despite standing in the middle of this thunderstorm, the abbot doesn't actually seem to be getting wet.
Well, of course not.
Nice trick.
All right,
gotta-
so you can all take a nice long rest, and your original long rest was disturbed, but basically I will allow that by resting until dawn, you will have completed a long rest.
Okay.
Originally, your long rest was going to finish like 3 a.m. or
As-
something like that, but so now it's going to be dawn.
Esmeralda is suffering from a reduction in maximum hit points because of the encounter with the vampire.
Yes. Now that she is completing a long rest, that is resolved.
Okay.
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 Now when I leveled, I gained a 5th level spell slot.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know any 5th level spells. So I haven't learned any.
Well, so
Yeah.
you now have access as a cleric. You have access to the 5th level cleric list.
Okay.
So when you choose your spells for this coming day, you can choose those. So your number of spells that you can have prepared can now include those.
Okay.
And I'm fixing up Shadows. I'll run her today. Alright. And
Oh, and I get to roll those dice too. Yeah.
Alright, and I'm actually going to switch away from here, our encounter map here, back to our map of Barovia.
Ooh, that's going to be useful.
Is that yes, your
My
divination.
my divination dice, yes. A 3 and an 8. Those are going to come in handy.
Yep.
All right. Question for the group. Right now I have detect magic. Does anybody think I should switch that out for fog cloud?
Yeah. Well, definitely. You guys are going to get to Castle Ravenloft, so choose your spells accordingly.
Well, I think before we choose our spells, we should talk about what we're actually going to do.
That's a good idea.
And I'm not sure if the Celestial can eavesdrop inside the tent or not, or whether he cares. But I have several divination spells prepared, and which are which means I have fewer offensive spells prepared. I have an arcane eye, which we can use to scout. Look around for.
Does your arcane eye have dark vision? I don't remember. Just because there are some dark places in the Castle Ravenloft that you may not be shocked to realize.
It has dark vision 30 feet.
Great.
Okay.
And can see in all directions.
Okay. I also have find traps. Which may be a little bit more useful than spike growth, considering.
So what I wanted to know is whether you wanted to go carefully that way, or if we are going to go in whole hog and I should take Bestow Curse instead.
Oh, that reminds me, I should pick some spells for Shadow. But so remember too, in terms of what your overall objective here, because obviously you've got a couple of things that you're looking for. You don't know where Ismark went, although he presumably was attempting to follow Strahd. There's the missing Sun Sword, the missing Tome of Strahd, and of course you never found the third relic, but your clue was that it had been in a crypt of some kind.
So and
then of course the dragon's skull.
Yeah, I was thinking of trying to make a raid on the crypts to possibly find that staff, possibly find the dragon skull. I figured the dragon skull might give us a clue to it, and since it's probably the only dragon skull in the castle, I could use locate object to give us an idea of where in the castle we wanted to look. Because it will give me a direction, and by using it, circling the castle, we could have a fairly good idea of where to look for it. And kind of make a raid in that direction with, find the skull, perhaps find the staff. And,
I want magic. If there are more things like those wolves, the werewolves, for which normal damage does not seem to affect them, I want a way to destroy them.
I think if we look in the crypts, we might very well find something like that.
Esmeralda had previously been willing to, contribute her +1 hand axe for that purpose, I think.
Yeah. It only does a d6 damage, but...
But, better than if something's immune. Plus, Rockjock can swing it real hard.
She says, it will probably do more good in your hand than mine. So she's willing to hand that over, for at least for the period of time when we're in the crypts.
It will do if I need it.
All right. So I'm going to pick spells for Shadow. but as part of kind of the group kind of decision-making process, there's a couple of like her 5th level spells that she can choose from here. She can cast Greater Restoration, which I'm going to go ahead and wink to you guys that that's probably not a bad spell for at least one of you to have.
Yeah.
But she also has Anti-Life Shell, which is basically like a little bubble that living things can't pass through. Awaken, which can like make otherwise non-sentient animals or plants into like little ally creatures. Commune with Nature, which can tell her things about the natural environment. Conjure Elemental. Contagion is kind of like it's a combat spell. Gas or however you say it, which can compel someone to do something potentially. Insect Plague, Mass Cure Wounds, Planar Binding, Reincarnate, which is like if someone dies, she can potentially bring them back, but it has a cost, and you guys don't have the materials, I don't think. Scrying, Tree Stride, and Wall of Stone.
Yeah, I already took Wall of Stone.
Okay. Is there any of those that leap out at you guys as what she ought to take for her 5th level?
I'm going to take the GM's wink and say, let's grab Greater Restoration, because we don't actually have a healer. Or
Pavel.
does Pavel have something similar?
Yeah.
Pavel can definitely cast Greater Restoration if he prepares it. That's definitely on his list.
Yeah, it is on the list.
Okay.
I mean, insect plague sounds painful and natural.
Well, last night my dog is barking at something.
Yeah, Insect Plague, basically, let's see, where's that one?
Somebody pulled up across the street and dared bring a dog with him, so
what?
he's going the sight of this dog in the car across the street.
Yeah, so Insect Plague, swarming biting locusts fill a 20-foot radius sphere centered within range, and the range is pretty big, it's 300 feet. And then basically, the sphere is lightly obscured, and every creature in that area has to make a Constitution saving throw or take 4d10 piercing damage.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's a environment control spell,
And the more that can heal, the better, too.
Mm-hmm. So, you guys have a choice?
How many of those can she prepare?
Well, she could potentially prepare. I mean, several of them.
Or how many
but yeah,
slots does she have? I guess.
So she has only one 5th level slot.
Yeah, that's what I have too. So, so we should complement each other here. I mean, I have no problem taking the 4 that I'm looking at. I mean, I've got a long list of 5th level spells here, but the 4 that I kind of have my eye on are Flame Strike, Mass Cure Wounds, Contagion, and Greater Restoration. And I know a couple of those were on her list as well. So maybe she takes one of those and I take the other. Like she could take Contagion and I take Greater Restoration, or vice versa.
Well, I'll let you guys pick.
Yeah, speaking tactically, it's not a bad idea for each of you to have some of the same spells anyway.
That's
Just in
true.
case you're at the opposite end of the
You could
battlefield.
very
One
easily
of you goes
need
down.
more than one Greater Restoration.
Right? Yeah. If the one person who has that spell gets cursed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good to have a backup. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think about the word. I mean, that's the spell that can reverse Strahd's charm, which has been our bane this entire time.
Okay, you just sold me. All right.
So
that will be my 5th level slot.
And I would like to also offer as a spell to consider, that's on the cleric lists that you can prepare, is as the one that boosts attributes.
Oh yeah.
Because getting an advantage on wisdom saving throws could prevent that spell from taking place in the first place.
Yeah, that's enhanceability. Is that the one you're
Enhanceability,
thinking?
yeah.
That's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
second level.
That's just a second level spell.
Second
Yeah,
level.
druids have it too, so I can have her take
Oh
that
yes,
one.
I see it.
Yeah.
She never casts Flame Blade, so I'm going to take that off of her list.
I think she did use it a couple of times, but ended up not really being useful.
Not recently, anyway.
Yeah.
All right, you know what? I'm going to do.
Because she mostly wild shapes and it's not in
And
her.
and here's
element
something
form.
else about enhance ability. If you cast it at a higher level, you can add a creature for each slot above second. So if you cast it at 5th level, you could get 4 people. Second, third, fourth, 4 people.
Mm-hmm.
Is that concentration?
It's concentration, but it lasts up to an hour. So, just saying.
Okay. I just added that to my second level list.
Yeah.
Okay. And I switched out spike growth for find traps. Because that seemed like a really good idea.
I can't drag it in unless it's. Okay. See, when you've popped out the character sheet, you can't drag stuff onto it anymore. So. Okay,
Yeah,
so
I
I will
had
give
to close my character
Shadow
sheet.
enhance ability, and replace Flame Blade. She has currently 1st level Thunderwave, Goodberry, Cure Wounds, Charm Person. 2nd level Pass Without Trace, Bark Skin, and now she'll have enhance ability.
I don't know if Charm Person is all that necessary at the moment.
No, not going to be useful.
We're not likely to go in smoothly. To talk our way in.
Right.
Yeah.
Excuse me a sec.
Okay. All right. So instead of Charm Person, we can maybe give her maybe another utility spell, like
That was wet.
detect poison and disease. She has Cure Wounds, but she could get Healing Word. Purify food and drink. Speak with animals. Animal friendship. Any of those leap out at you guys?
Certainly not animal friendship, but healing word sounds useful.
Yeah.
It's a ranged curing spell, so healing
Yeah.
spell.
Also, only a bonus action.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Which one was that? Was that mass
That's-
healing word?
That so
Just Healing Word.
for a 1st level spell, we're talking about giving a Healing Word to Shadow,
Okay.
and then 2nd level we just talked about. 3rd level she's got Wind Wall, Call Lightning. Call Lightning is not great inside though, and then Conjure Animals, which Amethyst has been proving is an extremely useful spell in
Yes.
some context.
Definitely conjure animals over call lightning.
Well, she has both right now. Let's see. She got rid of daylight because it doesn't count as sunlight. However, it does give you light if you're in a dark place.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I don't have any. I have just plain old light spell,
Okay.
which is a cantrip.
She has protection from energy and dispel magic. Could both potentially be
Yes.
helpful for
Yeah.
you.
Yep.
Protection from energy is an interesting one because I feel like the name doesn't really tell you very much. But basically, for the duration, the willing creature type you touch has resistance to 1 damage type of your choice: acid, cold, fire, lightning, or thunder.
Yeah, I actually grabbed that one from my 3rd level spell slot.
So I think I'll get rid of Call Lightning, but then maybe as another 3rd level spell. Well, also, we didn't ever settle on which 5th level spell you wanted her to take. Or for 4th level, there's also, she has 3 slots for that. Right now she has Stone Skin and Freedom of Movement. Freedom of Movement is a good one to have there. You know what? I'm just gonna give her Polymorph in her 4th level instead of the Call Lightning at a 3rd level.
Okay. Now, as far as the 5th level, I kind of like the idea of both of us having greater restoration.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
So why don't you give her that for
Okay.
5th?
Yeah.
All right. And so for 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, and she has one too many spells. I have to pick one to take away. Let's see. I don't think she maybe needs stone skin and bark skin.
Yeah, one or the other.
Yeah.
She likes bark skin better, so
Yeah,
I get rid of.
Because stone skin she can cast on someone else, though. I don't think it has to be only on herself. And what
You
that
can
does
cast bark skin, on somebody else too.
Okay. Yeah, because stone skin basically gives you resistance to non-magical bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing. But bark skin is just increases your AC.
Yeah. I need to get used to using that again.
Okay. All right, so what Shadow currently has then for her 12 slots, she has, first of all, Druidcraft, Guidance, and Produce Flame as her cantrips. Thunderwave, Goodberry, Cure Wounds, Healing Word. Pass Without Trace, Barkskin, Enhanceability. Wind Wall, Conjure Animals, Freedom of Movement, Polymorph, and Greater Restoration.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. And so I will, because I'll be running her, I'll try to, sort of be fair. If I explicitly think of something that would be useful for her to cast, I might suggest it. But otherwise, you guys kind of try to give me guidance as far as what you would want her to do. All right?
Okay.
Oh boy. You guys, you're heading into the vampire's castle.
Ourselves at the door.
It's all been leading
You
to
know what?
this.
Let's go somewhere else instead.
Yeah, you guys could just go back to the Amber Temple. You changed your mind. It's fine.
How about the winery?
Yeah.
Maybe not so much the winery right now. Blocky was on fire. That must mean they're cooking something.
Barbecue.
It is true that technically you guys never did actually try to leave Barovia. You just took the people's word for it that you couldn't.
Yeah, well, that's. I mean,
I'm just
We had
teasing
things
you
to
guys.
do rather than run away.
Yep. So, I've got Shadow's spells set up here. You guys, are. It is dawn. You're rested. And as you are sort of packing up your camp, the abbot who had just basically stood there without speaking the whole time you were resting, just turns back to you and just says, "Whatever you attempt to do, know that seeking the destruction of Strahd, even if you are successful, will only be temporary. Only my solution will save this land for good." And then his wings sprout out again. Once again, he's shining with radiant energy, and then he takes off into the sky.
I'm still gonna kill Strahd. I don't care what Fancy Pants says, but he better get his act in gear.
Yeah, I'm not so sure how much I trust him since he tried to throw the blame of Irena getting taken back on us when she was actually in his keeping when Strahd came and got her.
his
But
point of
that's
view is
neither-
the only one that matters to him.
Yeah.
He doesn't care. He lives forever. For him, it's a long game. If Strahd is ever defeated, he has no point.
From
Let
his
us be
point
about
of
this.
view, and Strahd exploiting the loophole, is that when you guys, when Perry damaged him with the fireball at Yester Hill, the whole deal was void, and he got to take Arena. That was the rules.
Oh yeah, no, from Strahd's
Yeah.
perspective, but
And Perry did that on purpose. So,
The abbot
Yeah.
is a lawful creature. You
uh-huh.
guys made an arrangement. That's
Yeah.
plus he knew that telling Strahd no generally doesn't go well.
Yeah.
Oh, Mark remembers how a bad choice led to some interesting and terrible things.
Yeah.
All right. So You guys get ready to get back on the road?
Yep.
All right. Are you rejoining the road? Because recall, you were traveling off-road, but you traveled until you had once again caught sight of these gates. And you were potentially going to rejoin the road at that point.
Yeah.
Is that what you're doing?
Do I have any reason to believe that passing through those gates would be a problem? Do I know anything about those gates?
No, you passed through them once already when you were coming.
Yeah, I mean it's
so you know that passing through those gates is just that's how you traveling on the road you go through the gates.
Right.
And everybody else from your perspectives, I mean you came through those gates when you were passing, coming this way in the first place. It's another large set of gates like the ones when you first entered Barovia. They're very similar in construction. The doors opened for you automatically and then closed again in a very creepy way, but otherwise nothing happened when you passed through them before.
We haven't been able to hide from Strahd before. Is there any reason to think we could hide now?
I just wonder what mischief he could make when we pass through it. That's all.
Esmeralda, oh, by the way, this is actually something I meant to have kind of her bring up, is to just briefly have her kind of say, should we just perhaps go over as a group vampire lore and what they're potentially weak to?
That seems like a useful thing to make sure everybody's on the same page with. Yes.
Now,
A little
bear in
easy,
mind,
never hurt anyone. Yeah.
Strahd is not a typical vampire. And so we have to understand that there may be some things about the standard vampire lore that do not apply in the same way to Strahd. And he may have other tricks designed to make it appear that he is not subject to certain restrictions when he actually is. But, as a general rule, in sunlight and in running water, vampires cannot use their regeneration ability, and they cannot change shape. So, when a vampire becomes a bat or a wolf or a cloud of mist, they cannot do that in direct sunlight or in running water.
So a stream or a river or something like that.
Yes.
Or tidal wave spell.
I think we're more apt to get him in water than we are in sunlight.
I might be able to throw him that far.
So, many vampires have the ability, even if we were to reduce him, to destroy his physical form as it was physically present with us, could just simply turn into a cloud of mist and then return to his coffin and regenerate there. Which
is another reason to visit the crypts.
Indeed. And so it may well be that the only permanent place he can be destroyed is in his coffin. However, if he is in direct sunlight or running water, he will not be able to turn into the cloud of mist and may be destroyed. If, as I mentioned, the standard vampire lore applies. But we are entering his domain in a land that already does not follow all the usual rules. So there may be additional complexity that we are not prepared for. We will have to be on our guard.
Now he has more werewolves.
He has more creatures of many varieties, I would think.
What others?
Well, I have no idea what may be waiting for us in the castle. Vampires themselves often can call bats or wolves, dire wolves perhaps, undead, zombies, skeletons. These are many of the creatures that will often be found around a powerful undead creature like a vampire. So I would expect that we find those at least. But I have not personally been inside Castle Ravenloft yet. I had hoped to find my mentor before breaching the castle. However, it may be the case, if Strahd was telling the truth, that my mentor has already been taken. And if that is the case, we must assume that he is dead.
Why not turned into one of those things?
That is also possible.
Are you prepared for that?
If we see him, we will have to test him.
Got him in two?
Well, that would kill him whether he was a vampire spawn or not.
Good
So
test.
perhaps something that would be more conclusive. That's all. Just occurred to me that you're traveling into a vampire's castle with a vampire hunter. She would probably have opinions. All right.
It's good to have a subject matter expert.
Yes.
So you want to go to the crypt? Is that right, Zia?
Yes, I believe that we will possibly be able to find resources there in a number
Are
of
we
ways.
sneaking? Is that even possible?
Okay, I studied the model of Castle Ravenloft, and
So
does that study?
I'm going to give you a couple of things once you get up to the castle that are going to. So recall that the model did not show you like the interior,
Yes, yes.
but it showed you the overall shape and gave you the sense of the scale that you could cast your locate object spell from outside the castle and be sure that it covered pretty much the entire castle.
Yeah, that was the first thing that I wanted to do. But I'm also curious if it gives me any idea where we might find things like sally ports and ways of getting in that aren't the front door.
I think you'll have to make rolls for that.
Okay, I'm fine with making rolls.
Let's wait until you actually kind of get to the castle and you can sort of get the lay of the land from the outside. All right?
Okay.
But all of these are fair things to ask about, like certainly I think as characters it would be completely normal and reasonable to expect that you're being careful.
Yes.
It is day, and Strahd cannot travel by day.
Esmeralda says he would not be able to travel in direct sunlight. However, as you may have noticed, here it is always overcast, and that is not enough, unfortunately.
Can any
Direct
of you
sunlight is required.
Can any of you magic types make the clouds go away?
I don't think so.
No, none of us have.
Change
none of us
weather
have.
is a pretty high-level spell.
Yes.
But that's why Esmeralda says it is why we must, if at all possible, recover the sun sword, because it creates the direct sunlight we would require.
Would he not have it with him?
I don't know what he would do with it. He said it belongs to his brother Sergei.
Which, if his Sergei is in the crypts, yeah, it's maybe
Then
where he.
or it might be. Yeah.
This is why there are the crypts I think are our first destination.
How heavily guarded is the castle? Should we expect?
It is his center of power. It will have every resource that he wants to have to hand.
Yeah, I think Esmeralda would say, I think that we should consider every step we make within the castle to be extremely hazardous.
Sounds like fun.
Let's
Yes.
go.
All right. So we're going to hike up to the castle.
Are you taking the road?
Well, the slope symbols that are there are those steep? I mean, are those climbable?
They are. None of these are sheer cliffs in the way that you had up in the mountains. It is
hill.
more difficult, but like you could do it if you want.
Okay. What I was thinking.
However, note as you get closer to the castle, these little arrow hatch marks are more gentle, but these little things that look more like cliffs are definitely sheer. And you know from having seen the profile of the castle when you were in Barovia that it is very tall. It sits atop sheer cliffs, and so probably that front entrance to it is still going to be the only way that you can make without flying or needing climbing gear.
What I was thinking of doing was going to about here on the map. You can see my circle.
Yep.
Go down, make a circuit around the base, looking for sally ports, secret entrances, and the sort. Castles often have those. And then, and at two places along the edges, casting locate object in order to triangulate on the dragon skull. Not so much as that the skull being necessarily the focus of our raid, because we're not going to have much use for it. But
just as a point of order with the locate object spell, I will go ahead and allow it to be a case where casting it once will kind of just fix a location in your mind.
Oh, okay.
You won't need to triangulate it.
Okay. All right. Because that's kind of not how the spell's written, but I'm fine with making it more powerful than it's written.
I will allow it in that case.
Yeah.
We could start by going to the top of this hill.
Yeah. It
Spying
doesn't
down.
stop you from getting lost, but I'm just saying that it will sort of give you a three-dimensional read from the place you are in the first time. So, like, direction and distance as opposed to just direction is what I'm saying.
Okay.
So, it doesn't mean it's not permanent. Only as long as you have the spell do you keep in mind the location.
Right, but given I also know at least the exterior layout, we would know, like, oh, it's under that tower, or it's it's close to this wall, or what have you, and such and such a difference. Yeah.
Okay, but so you could go to the top of this hill that kind of overlooks it and get a sense of what it looks like from the outside.
Yeah, that's going to be a long ways away, though. Are we going to be able to get any useful information there?
Yeah, I mean that top of that hill is like a mile away.
Yeah.
Mile and a half-ish.
Yeah, that seems like a long way to climb both up and down for a limited amount of information.
Yeah, you're not going to see like sally ports from that distance.
No, but you might see forces amassed.
Yeah.
Well, I think it is. Going in the front door would probably not be a good idea. Now, one thing we can do is we have two of us who are able to become giant eagles and therefore carry two others. So four of us could make an aerial entry. He almost certainly has defenses against that, but that is an option. Unfortunately, it's only four of us.
Five. Because one can change someone else, can they not?
Yeah, well, Shadow could cast Polymorph more than once.
Yes. Well, it's a concentration spell, so you can only cast it once at a time.
Right, but she could cast it on someone else and then use her own wild shape.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's my thought.
So we could transport all of us.
Six.
So yeah. So we could conceivably enter the castle that way, or possibly like reach a tower top or something at a place where it's not expected. And if he is expecting us to come in flying, then he's going to have to spread his defenses over the entire parapet in order to defend against that. And then he's not covering the front door as much. So I think if we cannot find another way of entering, then I think flying would be. But at the same time, those spells are powerful magic, and it would seem wasteful to use that just to get inside.
Also, I have a problem with coming in from the air because I wouldn't be able to take Anubis with me.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And if one of the let's say Shadow transformed into a giant eagle and carried him in her claws, that's gonna be a giveaway.
Yeah. So I am hesitant. I don't think that is the best plan. I still don't. I'd still like it better than going in the front door. So hence my interest in at least checking to see if there is any Sallyport or other.
Right. So again, let me just briefly make clear: the castle itself has high castle walls that take up the entirety of kind of a spire of stone with sheer cliffs all around, and there's a drawbridge that leads to the rest of it. So there's no going around the castle at the castle's height.
No, yes, I understand. We
Okay.
were going around the bottom of that spire of rock that it sits
Okay.
on.
Yeah.
Looking, because I mean, it's not out of the question for there to be a an escape hatch type thing at or near that level on the ground.
Yeah.
We can't know until we look. So
And-
let's look.
I just
So
wanted
let's
to make
look.
sure that the geography of the because you would have been able to see that from the town when you saw it. You basically see, the classic
Yeah. Mhm.
rocky spire that the castle's sitting on top of. All right.
So that's our plan. Our first step we want to do is make a circuit of the base of the castle, that is the spire that it sits on, as close as we can, and search for
A way in.
anything that looks unusual that might point us in the direction of a way in. Especially since underground type stuff is more likely to be closer to the crypts. So, and that includes like sewer pipes and anything like that is a possible means of entry.
It worked in Game of Thrones.
Okay, so you are traveling on the road or no?
Yeah, on the road.
All right. So, as
Faster
you,
is better there. Yeah.
as you, whoops, I keep grabbing the freaking road indicator. It's weird. Okay. All right. So you head to here, and it's the great big gates that I had previously mentioned, and as it has before, when you approach, these enormous doors open when you approach. When you pass through them, they close behind you. When you get to this crossroads, though, where's I? Yeah, so when you reach that crossroads, even here in the mountains, the forest and the fog are inescapable. Ahead, the dirt road splits into two, widening toward the east. And there you see patches of cobblestone, suggesting that the eastern branch was just once an important thoroughfare. And parked at the fork in the road, pointed east, is a large black carriage drawn by two black horses. The horses snort puffs of steamy breath into the chill mountain air. The side door of the carriage swings open silently.
No, thank you.
He did invite us before.
Yeah. Yeah, we are not going in on his terms. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Esmeralda says, "It's a power move. He knows we're coming."
Yeah.
I kind of want to kill the horses. Our own.
Do they look like normal horses? Or do they look like nightmares?
They're not nightmares. They look like normal horses, but you don't know if they're charmed or something.
I'm gonna go over and take a mighty swing
All right.
and cut the horses free from the wagon.
That's our rockjaw.
No.
Yeah. So you cut the horses free from the wagon, and they don't move to run away. They just stand there.
They're drugged.
Or
I'm gonna try to
enchanted.
inspire them to move with some animal handling tricks.
Okay.
Yeah, move,
Okay.
run, flee.
Are you making your animal handling roll?
Sure.
They, at your prodding, they take a few steps forward, but then kind of just stop as soon as you're, not touching them anymore.
How heavy is the wagon?
It's pretty big. It's big enough to carry all of you, but you're also pretty strong.
I try to lift it. If I can't lift it, I'll just turn it over.
Okay, make an athletics check. You are able to turn the wagon over, heaving from the wheel. You just and you turn it over and it falls onto its side with a clatter.
Yeah, I feel better.
You look and the horses have just kind of they're standing where they were and they've just kind of turned around and watching you. Unimpressed.
Mother Dragon says, "Who called for an Uber?"
I do not want to admit that Strahd is an Uber of any kind.
Esmeralda just says, "I'll be impressed on their behalf." You know, as dangerous as I think those gifts were in the Amber Temple, clearly you have achieved some significant benefit from yours.
Do you think these horses know something? Anything that might be of use?
I don't know. Are you able to speak with them?
If we take a few moments, I can. I understand animals in a way that none of you would. Maybe that one, pointing at Shadow, but the rest probably not.
I
See what
think
you can find out.
They would be able to tell you whatever Strahd would want them to tell you, I would think.
That makes sense. I mean, even more than anything else, these are Strahd's creatures.
If nobody's running and rushing, then I will begin the process of the ritual of Speak with Animals.
Okay.
Okay.
And you see Rockjaw moving around, kind of grunting and snuffling, kind of like an animal himself, tracing around the horses,
With
looking
all
in the
that
eyes.
greasy fur all over your body, definitely.
Yep, I'm kind of looking a lot like a wolf myself, with an extra couple of heads on my belt. Weirdly.
Mm-hmm.
And then when the ritual is completed,
Tell me, what do you know of this castle? Is it guarded?
It is the Master's castle. It is guarded by the Master.
Alone?
He has creatures.
You were to take us there. Yes?
Yes.
Is there anything that blocks our way?
The carriage was just, we were going to take it up the road and across the drawbridge and then let you out in the courtyard.
Have you ever known freedom?
What do you mean?
Have you always been servant to that demon Strahd?
We've always served the Master.
And perhaps in another life, you will roam free as you should.
and I draw my axe out and I behead the two of them.
Ooh, all right. They're not even trying to get away, so I'll just say you just do that.
They are pitiful creatures under Strahd's yoke.
They die like standard beheaded horses. Nothing else happens. It's kind of gruesome.
Kind of too bad Nutty's not here, because he's the one that usually reacts to Rockjaw's sudden outbursts. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think at this point, Shadow is probably giving you a wide berth in the sense
There is
of
no-
like not going
there
to
is no-
interfere with anything you're doing.
there is no pleasure on Rockjaw's face. In most combat, when he's killing things, it's because that's what's meant to be done. This is not a combat. This is not him taking pleasure. It's more pity, if anything else.
All right.
We should go.
Yeah.
So, if you're continuing along the road, oh look, a random encounter.
More horses. Stop with the
We've been
wagons.
pretty lucky with those.
Yeah, you actually have
Yeah.
for a lot of the campaign. You just never got them. All right. Oops.
So where are we when that happens?
Just a second. Because the random encounter table is kind of weird. It you roll once you have gotten one, you roll a d12 plus a d8 instead of excuse me just one die of something or other. So let's see. You get, if you're just following the road, you get to about right there.
Okay.
So you're just heading along the road with these hills, and then you got. You find another hidden bundle of clothing, similar to the last one that you found.
Oh. Let us hope this still is useful. I'm going to cast Mage Armor.
Okay. Remind me how long that lasts?
8 hours.
Okay. Yeah, you would guess that you're still an hour, about a little less than an hour from the castle. But so you
thinking that I've forgotten to cast it before the last fight and never got a chance. So.
Okay, so you're going to go ahead and get to here without any other further things going off happening. Now you have arrived at the gates of Ravenloft. After winding through the forest and craggy mountain peaks, the road takes a sudden turn to the east, and the startling, awesome presence of Castle Ravenloft towers before you. I have a handout for you.
Uh-oh.
Let's see. Handouts. Okay. I've just given you Castle Ravenloft. Yes. You come to a stop before twin turrets of stone broken from years of exposure. Beyond these guard towers is the precipice of a 50-foot wide, fog-filled chasm that disappears into unknown depths. A lowered drawbridge of old, shored-up wooden beams stretches across the chasm between you and the archway to the courtyard. The chains of the drawbridge creak in the wind, their rust-eaten iron straining under the weight. From atop the high walls, stone gargoyles stare at you out of their hollow eye sockets and grin hideously. A rotting wooden portcullis, green with growth, hangs above the entry tunnel. Beyond this location, the main doors of Ravenloft stand open. A rich, warm light spills from within, flooding the courtyard. Torches flutter sadly in sconces on both sides of the open doors.
This is just like Motel 6. They left the light on for us.
Okay, well. Continuing with our plan?
Yep.
We are going
So,
to...
the cliffs have become substantially more sheer this close to the castle, as you can kind of see in the...
Well, we were planning on descending further from the castle. Well, at least there's a long section of slope there where we can find a good place to descend.
So I'm saying you have now gotten close enough to the castle that you are going to look for those places.
Yes.
So
Right.
I wanted to make sure you guys got to see the cool handout. All right. And so certainly you can also take note from, from the shape here that the picture of the castle here is reflective of the actual map of the castle. So, in terms of the number of towers and the shapes and so on. So just,
So
Okay.
I'll confirm that is true.
2 towers I'm seeing, 1, 2, 3, maybe more turrets. And plenty of ravens. Yeah. Okay.
All right. So, as you guys have reached there, and if you want to kind of go like around like this, and kind of descend into the chasm that surrounds the castle. It takes a while because it's very sort of steep and rocky, but you are taking care to travel around to where it's, manageable and not deadly.
Okay.
And you descend into the chasm and find that it is it's difficult terrain down there too, in the sense that there's nothing growing down here. It's not just slopes, it's just sharp, rugged rocks that would be really awful to land on if you were, say, to fall from the castle, you would imagine. But as you guys travel around, basically, I'm going to have whoever you guys deem the person you want to do it, I'm going to have you make a perception check in each hex around the side.
Okay. It should be someone with a better perception check than me.
Okay, hold on. Let me pull up my.
Shadow has a +7.
That's a pretty good one.
Let's see, perception.
And
Yeah.
I'm also,
The +7's got me beat.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, and so you are looking primarily for anything that looks like it might be a way into the castle. But anything else?
Anything out of the ordinary, something that could be like a trigger, something that looks out of place and might be a trigger for a secret door opening.
Right.
So, a branch that has a hinge on it.
Right. So the map literally does not actually tell me exactly how far below the castle you are. Let me there is one thing I can check give me, just so I can give you the sense of scale here.
And there's no accumulated water in this valley either.
Not where you guys are at, anyway. It's so rocky that even when it rains, you would imagine it still drains from where you guys are to elsewhere. Perhaps running down the hills into the river and the Sierra Pool. All right. There's an overlook from the castle that might have a description to say how far down is it. Yeah.
Excited, guys. We're almost at the doors of the castle.
Yeah.
This is going to suck.
It is 1,000 feet. 1,000 feet to the level of the castle that you are 1,000 feet below.
So that means I'm going to have to cast my locate object once we're back up on the plateau again.
Yeah.
So, I will have there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hexes that surround, as you travel around the base of the castle.
Yeah.
So I'll have Shadow make 8 checks.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm saying that you would do that hex and that hex, so not as you're staying close to the spire. So
yes.
Go ahead and her make. Are you guys want to go clockwise or counterclockwise?
Well, it looks like we're going clockwise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I mean, you say looks like. I mean, you could choose to go either way, but all right.
Yeah, clockwise is good.
Against the wheel. Oh.
All right.
That's 7.
Yeah. All right. As you are traveling around, you're definitely here and there finding just various bits of detritus that presumably fell from the castle at some point. You find a broken chair that has, the wood is now splintered and rotten. You find actually what looks like was once a very expensive dress, but has now been in the elements for some time. You find you're not finding any sort of like a tunnel or sally port, I'm afraid. But for that, I'm going to go ahead and say for that critical there, you guys do find the skeletal remains that are. It's not a very intact skeleton, but it looks like someone who jumped or was flung or fell from the heights, and has what looks like adventuring gear on them. And you find in the pack 3 greater healing potions.
Oh,
Nice.
Yeah.
I recommend we hand those to people who cannot heal themselves. Cast healing.
I'll take
Which I
one.
believe there are 3 of us, at least 3 of us, who can do that.
So, what I will say though is that there doesn't seem to be any way into the castle from here. And the cliff
So all
is
the
sheer
stuff
enough
that we're seeing, I'm sorry, the stuff that we're seeing, the chair, the dress, all that stuff, that's just laying on the ground around the base of the castle. It's not
it looks like it was
hanging over
probably
anything.
flung from the castle at some point.
Okay.
Flung, dropped, jumped.
Yeah. There aren't any bones inside the dress, are there?
No, not in the dress.
Okay.
I can imagine several stories about that, possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you've made the complete circuit, though, and to climb
There's
from
nothing.
here would require either, flying or climbing gear. And you realize that pretty much any way to the castle except the drawbridge itself is going to require flight or climbing gear. Although I think at some point you did get a climbing gear kit, didn't you? I think you bought one in Vallaki before going up into the mountains.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
What's in that kit?
Pitons and hammer and rope and stuff like that.
And
Okay.
not nearly enough rope.
Yeah.
1,000 feet
do I
is
have-
pretty high.
Yeah. Yeah, 50-foot coil is not going to do it.
I think we are at the after we finished our circuit, we're probably somewhere close to the gate again, right?
Yeah. Well, I assumed that you came back around again to this hex where you started to go the full circle.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I will need to be up on that level to cast the locate object spell.
All right.
All right.
So
It looks like the slope behind us is actually a little bit gentler.
there is no slope up to the castle that is any gentler than the rest.
Well, I mean, up to the level, like.
I mean, you
This one that
guys
we-
took time to find the easiest way down on your way. So I
Yeah.
would say
Right.
if you're going back up, that would be
Going back, we're going back
the
up
same
that way. Yeah.
So if you're heading back up to the road and essentially returning back
Yeah.
to where I showed you that handout.
Mm-hmm. That's
Yeah.
that's where we're going back.
Okay.
So do we? So how do? Okay, before we make any further decisions, I want to get up to the front gate there, and cast my locate object, looking for a dragon's skull.
Okay. Just gonna. I told you what I was already gonna allow, but I just want to read the description of the spell again, make sure I'm understanding things properly. Okay. What you see is that what you feel like is this spell magically gives you sort of a little bit of a compass in your head that you can kind of you recognize that there's a direction, and you can almost see the skull through the castle. And what you see is that it is more or less straight ahead. Like, so as you face the front door of the castle, it's more or less straight ahead, but it is located down at least one level.
Okay.
So
And-
it
and,
is toward,
yeah.
like in this aligned sort of in the center. So if I were to divide the castle into sort of like 8 octants, like so there's top half in 4 squares, bottom half in 4 squares, if that makes sense.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
It's in
That's okay.
The lower one, it's in the half that's closer to you. So it's lower than the ground level of, but it is closer to you than the midpoint of the castle.
Okay.
And it is right to left. It is more or less in the center.
Okay. Okay. So is it under the central tower portion, or is it under the courtyard between the gates and the central castle portion?
It's a complicated map, so let me
Okay.
make sure I give you accurate information. I actually bought the book of this, so I have this. Check that out.
Wow.
Oh wow.
And he's able to, the information you're about to give us, he's able to tell all that just from the spell?
The spell is, normally I think it would just give you a direction, but I'm going to go ahead and say it gives you direction and distance, and so you don't have to mess around triangulating.
Okay.
Because that's just complicated to explain, I think.
Yeah. And if we need refinement on it, I can cast it again later. It's not a difficult cast. But,
Okay.
All right. Let me confirm that that is the right room. And then... Yeah, okay. What you think is that where the front door of the castle is, if you were able to be directly on the level below that, that's where it would be.
Okay. The front door of the castle proper rather than the outer curtain wall.
Yeah, so there's the outer curtain wall, but the actual front door of the castle building itself.
Okay.
If you were to be one level down, that's where it is.
Okay. And that will be our goal. I will describe the location of our goal that way. And considering that I am just making the assumption that since it is bones, it is likely to be near catacombs. So because the fact that it is below the ground level of the castle says to me this is not a bad assumption to make so far. So this is the direction we will be going.
Okay, let's see if we're ready to switch to the Castle Ravenloft map yet.
You agree with me that we have no choice but to go in the front door?
Yeah.
There doesn't seem to be any alternative.
That's what we will do.
All right, so
be on your guard.
As you are walking across this old wooden drawbridge, it is very sturdily built, but also there are a few of its boards missing here and there, and it does creak and groan kind of ominously. I'll go ahead and assume you guys are being careful as you approach and cross it. And so, none of you are crashing through the wood and falling 1,000 feet to the rocks below. So you are able to cross it safely, even if it's a little bit of a, emotionally harrowing journey. And so you pass between those two sort of gate towers, and I'm going to go ahead and bring us to, you know what? I'm going to move these maps a little bit closer so it'll make it easier to switch them. Oops. All right. Switching the map. And once again, this will be in a, it's going to be a, oh wow, really? There's a lot of maps in this, in this module. No, I mean that plus just like the little control I get that lets me move the map. It's just I can't scroll very easily, and so just for simplicity's sake, I'm moving them to where I can more quick reference them. Okay. Okay. So, you guys are probably, gonna, I don't know if you see anything yet because I haven't put your tokens on it.
It's black, yeah.
Yeah. All right, so let's...
Wait, no, there it is. I just had to zoom out.
Yeah, we see the outer courtyard, looks like.
Yeah. Right. Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay.
All right.
Ooh, in a sense of scale for sure.
Yeah. Actually, let me double check what the scale is for the squares on this one. And I'll have to set you guys up so that you can move them.
Looks like the squares are only 5 feet. It's just it's a really big map.
Wow, yeah. It really is.
Yeah. I think. Does it say the 5 feet?
Yeah, if you do the measuring tool.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna, zoom in on you a little bit more here. Let's make Pavel the appropriate size here. And I'll set you guys up so that you can control your guys. And we'll get into the descriptions of the castle proper.
Yeah.
This is exciting, you guys.
This is remarkably green in here.
It's definitely mold and slime, not like actual grass.
You know, with all Strahd's money, he could put some funds into upkeep of this place.
Maybe he did. It's hard to keep the mold and fungus out. Or maybe he likes mold and fungus.
Yeah, it's kind of damp here. It's always overcast.
Alright, so I'm setting your tokens up. Tim, you should be good with Pavel. Although it should...
I have a phone call. Hold on a minute.
Yeah, we're hearing that ring.
Yeah, loud and clear. Yep, yeah, I can click on Pavel.
Okay. It looks like it's showing your HP is really low, so...
yeah, that's not right.
Yeah, go ahead
We are
and
home, but
set
I
it
am...
to...
Mom is out shopping with William, and I am in the middle of a game.
So for those of you at home, always remember.
Oh, it is showing... Okay, that's right. We just had a long rest. I mean, my
Yeah.
hit point max is 72.
Okay, yeah,
Actually,
so I mean...
now is a really bad time.
Yeah,
Hold
you
on.
really shouldn't be at 72. Or should be at 72.
Well, yeah, I mean, set it to what it should be, yeah.
Puny human.
Sorry about that, guys.
No problem. Alright.
So, as we noted that Tim didn't have his HP reset, I just want to make sure everybody has reset things after this long rest, because we're going to need everything.
Yeah, I definitely... I remembered to reset all my spell slots, just forgot to deal with the HP. Glad you caught that, though.
And, you know, I don't think that you guys will be shocked if I let you know that resting of any kind in the castle is potentially hazardous.
Yes.
Just lock ourselves in a room, we'll be fine.
All right. So,
Yeah.
the castle.
Here we
So
go.
as you cross into, you know, across the drawbridge, you enter the front courtyard. Thick, cold fog swirls in this courtyard. Sporadic flashes of lightning lance the weeping clouds overhead as thunder shakes the ground. Through the drizzle, you see torch flames fluttering on each side of the keep's open main doors. And see the dotted line here. So there's a roof over it, but that dotted line you can see through to the front doors, and it's just there's a roof overhang where the dotted line is.
Okay.
And so warm light spills out of the entrance, flooding the courtyard. High above the entrance is a round window with shards of broken glass lodged in its iron frame. The walls that circle the castle here are 90 feet tall, and then the dark towers rise even higher than that. So you can see kind of to each side of the castle, the curtain wall does sort of continue in and have like these side ports, but there are open gates through them, so you could go around to the back of the castle that way if you wanted. But that's where you are now. You are facing the front door, which is open and inviting.
I would like to look to see if these curtain walls are hollow and perhaps might have entry to the lower level somewhere in there.
Okay.
What I'm asking the rest of the party what they think. Is that a reasonable thing, or should we look for another way?
Let's start with your idea. I don't have a better one. Going through the front door, I believe, would be unwise. So.
All right. So the first thing you find is that these gate towers have a door, just a regular door.
Mm-hmm.
They have once you enter, you see that they are hollow inside, but what is contained inside is enormous chains and the mechanisms that are used for opening or raising or lowering the enormous drawbridge.
Okay. So there's no means to get to the parapets or the or inside those curtain walls.
No.
Okay. All right. And let us have a look at these.
Didn't mean to do that little circle thing, so take no notice of that.
Then let us have a look at these. The side passage there.
Okay. Are you going like up around the top side or?
The top.
Yeah.
The north side.
So on this map, north is up, just for reference. Okay. Yeah. So as you go around the corner of the castle, you see that center court gate. A massive wall juts out to connect the outer walls of the castle with the keep. A 20-foot wide, 20-foot tall archway offers passage through the connecting wall, but is blocked by a rusting iron portcullis. However, the portcullis, so the portcullis is closed.
Rockjaw, do you think you can force your way through that?
That's what I was just thinking.
Easy. So how tall was it? It was like
The 20-foot tall archway.
okay. I'll try first just to lift it.
Yep.
Actually, I'll try just to pull on it and see if it just comes free in my hands.
Okay.
But no, I'll try to lift it.
No, pulling it doesn't seem to do anything. It sort of rattles and groans a little bit because you can pull really hard, but it's definitely, it's not that fragile.
Okay. Then I'll just try to lift it.
Oh, I'm gonna. You know what? Just for my own sanity, can one of you move Shadow's token around? I'll assign.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Sure.
Okay, let me. I'll allow you control over her character sheet for now, Tim. So then you can move her token. And
We've lost so many NPCs, we're now turning PCs into NPCs for us.
yeah, hang on. Let's see. I need to. There we go. Okay. I think you should be able to now move her token. Tim, can you confirm that?
Yep, just did.
Okay, great. So, so the portcullis is sturdy enough that you can't just pull it down sideways, but you can try to lift it by making a strength check.
I lift with my knees. I use my. Is it athletics or just strength?
Athletics.
Okay.
Very ergonomically correct of you. You got it.
It groans and squeals as you lift it, but you are able to lift it without overly straining yourself. Meaning it's would be difficult for someone else perhaps.
Yeah. Can he wiggle it and maybe lock it in place?
No, its weight stays on him, so he can hold it up probably as long as he wants. But if he lets it go, it'll close again.
Okay, everybody
After
through.
you.
Let me reveal more of this. You do also, as you pass through the wall, there don't seem to be any doors or anything like to an interior of the wall. It's just solid as far as you can tell. So let's try to reveal the right shapes here. Okay. So as you pass through there, the courtyard northeast of the keep is enclosed by towering walls. A stone carriage house with hinged wooden doors stands silent in the corner where the outer walls meet. Across from the carriage house, a slender wooden door reinforced with iron bands leads into the keep. That is right. So that is right here. That door that I mentioned. There's also a door into the carriage house here, and there does seem to be another gap in the wall right there.
What's this protrusion down here?
It's just the wall. It's not it's just part of the building that extends.
Okay.
There.
Is that an overhang or?
No, it's not an overhang there. It's just the castle shape.
Okay.
This doorway looks like a good option. Well, a less worse option.
You want to go deeper in first, or on the outskirts?
And do we want to check the outbuilding out here first?
I don't think there's anything there we need to worry about.
Okay.
If there's something to ambush us in there, then all it would do is drain our strength. Yes,
All
we
right.
could be leaving
Is there-
enemies at our backs, but at this point, who cares?
Are there windows in that outbuilding? at all?
No.
Okay.
It is, you would guess, though, based on the big wide door, that's where the carriage would normally be stored.
I'll rescue the horses later.
Like you rescued those other ones.
I freed them.
Of their heads.
Yes. Rockjaw, if you would give this door a rattle.
If I weren't around, I would go
Should we
get through
listen?
any doors.
Should somebody listen at it first before we go busting through there?
You can.
Shadow, would you do the honors?
She listens at the door with her 20 perception, and she does not hear anything.
Okay. Rockjaw, do your thing.
All right.
I will check to see if it's locked.
The
'cause that would be-
door, the wood itself seems a little bit moisture swollen, so it's sticky but not locked.
I put a lot of effort and then simply open it easily.
Yeah. I won't even make you roll for it. All right. So now I have to switch us to a different map because you're going inside, and this map shows the roof, not the interior. If,
Okay.
So if I were to expand that part that you can't see, it's the roof. Okay. So
Hey,
let's.
there goes the roof. What a wacky world this is.
All right. Let's reveal the room that you're going to enter. And see how long you actually stay on this map, but we'll... Okay. So, bring your tokens in. And I'll some of you I'll put kind of, let's see, I'll just have a revealed area here that's still outside, just because it's it's a cramped room. I'm not necessarily assuming that you're all just piling in immediately no matter what you see.
I don't know why what you just said reminded me of this, but you remember that time at DragonCon when you and me and like a dozen other people got stuck in an elevator?
Yeah. Is that? That's a regular occurrence at DragonCon. But I definitely remember a time that a guy dressed as Robin literally used the bow staff that was part of his costume to unstick us.
I think that's actually on one of the tracks at Dragon Con. It's one of the panels.
Elevator.
Yeah.
Let's see, who am I missing? Oh, Pavel is who I'm missing.
Well, the 101 is how not to be stuck in an elevator, and the 102 is being stuck in the elevator.
Yeah. Actually, and the 100 level course is finding an elevator. Actually getting on one.
Okay, so I
How
don't know why
track of
Pavel's
itself.
token always.
the correct mystic rituals required for summoning elevators at DragonCon.
Yeah. There's a spell.
Okay, so I'm setting up your tokens here, but let me just briefly read what you're seeing. You've come in through what you would guess is a servant's entrance. Dim light filters in through a dust-caked window in the east wall. A door next to the window leads to the castle's northeast courtyard, which is just the way you came in. Everything in this room is coated with dust, including a large, heavy table in the center of the floor. A thick book lies open on a desk with an inkwell and a quill next to it. There is a broken door in the north wall, and a staircase in the south wall plunges into darkness. On each side of the staircase, a skeletal figure draped in gleaming chainmail stands sagging at attention, holding a rusty halberd.
Okay, I am seeing just blackness there. We have
Hang
not.
on.
entered the
Okay,
room.
I know. Just give me.
Okay. Sorry.
That's okay. I chose to read the description before setting all your characters up, so that you could think
Okay.
about that while I did it. But you won't
Okay.
see it until I finished.
You think anybody's noticed that those two dudes on either side of the
Oh yeah, I got my eye on them.
they haven't reported for duty in a while?
More like they haven't
Well-
been break for a while.
Well, given that this is Strahd's castle, it might not matter. They might still be able to report for duty.
That's true.
Okay. I'm gonna have to do this every time you go to a different floor, which is why I was kind of joking about like, we'll see how long you stay on this map.
Not as long as you'd like us to, I'm sure.
I
Suddenly-
suppose I could
No.
kind of do this in
That
advance.
stairwell
for
is
a
impassable. You cannot go there.
Are you seeing anything yet, Nibilis? Are you seeing?
No, I am not seeing anything.
Okay.
I'm still seeing the old map.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Oh,
saying too.
did I not move you guys? Okay. Yeah. There we go. There we go.
Something's happening.
Oh.
Ah, here we go.
Oh,
Hey,
hey, much better, much better.
Wow, that's a really small room. We can't stay here.
Oh no, there's stairs.
Yeah.
It's immediately going through the stairs.
Yeah. That's why I saw the room and I said,
yeah.
"Oh yeah, you guys could just immediately go downstairs, and then I'd have to do all of this over again for the new map."
Yes.
Suddenly the
But I
there's
at
like the
least,
Tomb of Annihilation flashbacks.
yeah, yeah.
Well, yeah.
All right. Well,
Okay, I think you're all set up.
Okay, who wants to go in there first? I mean, this okay. It looks like Rockjaw.
Yeah.
Rockjaw
So
and I are already in.
everything's got
Okay.
dust. Well, everything's got dust. There's the book on the table. The two skeletons holding halberds with armor on them, flanking the door that descends. There's also another door on the north side of the room.
Do these?
I back up a little. Those skeletons look like they've got a bit stronger grip on their weapons than ordinary skeletons ought to.
Do they have the same markings as the other skeleton guys we saw in that other tower, or do they have any markings at all?
Which other? Oh,
So there were
tower?
soldiers who couldn't leave their place.
Argon Vostholt?
oh, right.
Yeah, that's
Those were clearly undead, but not completely skeletal. These seem to be completely skeletal, and yet it does seem unlikely that someone who just died and rotted away would be in the position they're in.
right. Do they seem animate at all? Do they watch us as we come in?
No, they seem they're completely motionless as far as
Oh,
you can
that's
tell.
okay.
Then I walk forward.
All right.
I'm going to enter the room. I want to take a look at that book on the desk.
Okay. As Rockjaw approaches the skeletons, they don't do anything.
I'll draw my great axe just in case.
Yeah, they seem completely unresponsive. In fact, actually, as you get closer, you realize they're held together with wire and hung on pegs. That's how they're standing up.
Oh, no.
What weapon did they have? A glaive?
A halberd.
Or
Halberds.
halberd? What shape does the halberd look in?
They're very rusty.
I just reach forward, grab the halberd, and rip it out of its hand.
Yeah, so it kind of pulls on the wire structure and makes the whole thing kind of sag crooked now. Yeah, so the halberd is a halberd, but it's not in fighting shape.
Yeah, I just toss it aside.
Yeah,
So these guards are decoration.
yeah.
Yes.
And then the book, as if you're examining the book, Pavel, it's weathered and brittle, but the ink in the inkwell is fresh, not dried up. And at the top of each page is scribed the message, "Please register for your own convenience and that of your next of kin." Yeah. The book is more
you
than
got like a
half
vampire with
more than
sensitive-
half full of just names, but they're pretty illegible. It's the same handwriting generally, but
Yeah.
Is it dated or just names?
just names.
Let me look at that. And I start scanning the names down for some of the names that I should know. Jessica definitely is one of them.
Most of them are hard to read anyway.
Yeah. You're still going to do it whether I can succeed or not.
Yeah. No. So, I mean, depending on how long you want to sit there and flip through all the pages.
He'll get bored pretty quick.
Yeah, you don't find anything.
Okay.
All right.
Stairs and a door.
Well, if the Skull Dragon is supposedly one level down, then I'm thinking we should take those stairs down.
I agree entirely.
All right. So, the stairs are going to descend about 40 feet to the next level and another map. So, give me a moment.
Okay.
We got 40 feet worth of talking to do while she prepares.
Yeah.
Take 5 PCs.
Is
Well, you know what? Let me actually leave you on the other map while I set this up.
Is everything of Strahd nothing more than facade? These are not guards. This book is a joke.
I do feel like we're being toyed with.
Maybe there's less to him than people think.
I think that's why Strahd invites people in. He gets bored and we're his entertainment.
It's entirely possible.
Yep.
What is your order in terms of descending the stairs? Like, what order are you going in?
This isn't the time for bravery. Rockjaw should go first.
Esmeralda will go alongside him. I'll go behind Esmeralda.
Okay, I'm behind them.
Okay.
And since Nutty's not here, Shadow's going to go last. Anyway, we should have the wolf, sort of ahead of her anyway.
Okay. So, I put 2 rock dust on there for some reason.
Yes.
You can see from the screen. You can see from the screen. I actually brought my own wolf this week. You can see he's holding guard right behind me.
I don't think we can't see on the camera the way it's set up.
Oh, you can't. Let's see if I can.
I've got it narrowed to we're really only seeing like the center of your frame where your head usually would be.
Okay.
Yeah, vigilant.
Yes.
That's vigilance embodied right there.
He's very tense. I mean, this moment has really got him hyped up. Actually, he kept asking to come in and out of the room. I finally yelled at him and told him to lay down. Yeah, he listened, so.
Okay. So, as you were getting dim light in that other room, you are descending into darkness. So,
Okay.
those
I
of you
will
who
cast.
do not have dark vision.
I will cast a light spell on Rockjaw's weapon.
Hey,
And
is it
that will
magical
last.
now?
No. Well, yes, in the sense that it sheds light.
Give a few test swings.
I can get used to this.
That's a cantrip. When it runs out, I can cast another. And I'm going to wait a few minutes, and then cast another cantrip. Doesn't cost me anything.
Okay.
On my own staff, on the tip of my own staff. That way, when his goes out, I know I've got 5 minutes left on mine.
Good idea. All right, I'm setting up your characters here, and then I'll switch you guys over to the new map as you descend into the darkness of Castle Ravenloft. It started as sort of Bela Lugosi and then turned into Liverpudlian.
I don't think we're going to find what we want down here.
Oh no!
What's wrong, John? I don't understand.
Well, I just like to drink blood, that's what I'm saying.
Blood, Leonard. John Strahd.
Is that a guitar he's holding?
It's my +1 avenging guitar.
I'd like to be found under the ground. Graveyard. All right, so almost set up for this new level. And,
Is that the real Curse of Strahd as a musical? Is that
Wouldn't it really suck if we found out that Strahd was actually Ringo?
Strahd von Zarovich is lonely Hearts Club band. That actually kind of works.
Oh, I think, Christiana, you have the seed of a tremendous parody right there.
Yep.
I just don't want to know who's gonna start singing.
Yeah.
I get by with a little help from my friends.
Is that the verse of Strahd?
All right, Christiana, I think it's decided this is what you've got to work on, is Smokey.
That's right. Or the chorus of Strahd, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is this going to be the new version of what was it, the Calamity?
Victory?
Oh, yeah.
No, the game that you and
Fiasco.
Fiasco.
Oh, Fiasco.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can't remember if I told all of you guys or not, but I was definitely thinking that a Barovian playset for Fiasco
Oh,
is the perfect fit, right?
Yes.
Without question.
Oh yeah.
Without question.
And then do a mashup with the Beatles, and you're all set.
That's right.
the chorus,
So listen,
the chorus of Strahd Ivarius, or Strahd the Ivarius.
as we descend the stairs, I think we all have to sing da 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 da.
Here comes the sun. That'd be nice. Yeah.
All you need is sun.
Well, unfortunately, I think Maxwell's Silver Hammer might be a little more likely.
Yeah, right.
Go with it.
Did I? You know what I think I just did? Did I just make you go up a level? I think I did.
That looks like up a level.
Yeah, I definitely
Yeah, it has.
I just definitely moved you up a level, which is, I think I may have just. Is that what is going on here? Oh, you know what? I wonder if these stairs just go both ways, and so I picked the wrong map to move you onto. Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Oh wait, no. Okay. I did move you onto the wrong map, so that's not. That definitely happened. But
Does anybody else feel like we're going upstairs?
so that means
or
once you
down?
go up to that level, I will already have your token set up there.
All right, who pressed the wrong button on the elevator?
So the problem is
On
that there
second
is a
thought.
set of stairs that is.
Right
Yeah.
nearby.
Yeah, shoot. There's so many maps here. It's kind of confusing.
It's like there's a
Okay.
That's all
whole
we
lot
can
of
keep
things there on
riffing
so many levels.
Keep riffing
Yes.
on undead Beatles.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. So yeah. I'm in hindsight really wishing I did this in advance, but oh well.
Well,
We just
Yeah.
found out we were playing this morning.
Okay. Let's see. Do you
I wonder
belong
if that
on
means that-
Ravenloft map 11 or 12?
I'm
think
wondering
it's
if Christiana's
11.
like, they're never going to go to the castle
How
this
would you
week.
know?
That's totally out of the question.
Okay, it is
Too much.
definitely 11. Okay. There we go. Yes. Okay.
So I wonder if it could be
Yeah.
the Scarabs as opposed
Okay.
to the Beatles.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So now I have definitely the correct map. To move you on to. So, sorry about that.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay. All right. So now, once again, moving you all on there. So yes, as you are moving down the into the darkness, Esmeralda's like, any of you know any travel games like I Spy, My Little Eye?
Greystone.
Yep, I see it.
Yeah.
skeletons.
Okay, let's see. I've got,
Mold.
Dust.
let's see, Pavel, Honor, Rakta, Zia, Shadow, and Esmeralda, and then just set you all up with your control.
Bueller.
We also
I'm
need
gonna
to play to us that map because we're still on the
yes,
wrong one.
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys this: do you care about having your little HP bar on the token? Because it will be one less step for me every time if I don't put it on there. But if you like having it there, I can do it.
I have
keep track of my
Anybody
sheets.
else's.
the only thing I was using it was for Esmeralda's hit points.
Okay.
And
Well-
I've created another place to keep track of it, so I'm good.
All right, so
Yeah.
I will Esmeralda has it on there, but I won't do it for the rest of you.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, make it easier on yourself.
Yeah.
Okay.
How many maps are there for the castle? What are there, like 20?
Well, there's technically 12, but 7 through 10 are all just the different floors of the tower, and they're all on the same like sheet.
You know, if I run, I can probably hit all 12 maps in a couple of rounds. To see her.
But yeah,
see
so
her
like 7
canvas
through 10, I
turn
don't have
black.
to. I don't have to switch.
Ah.
Okay. So
Okay, here we go.
Ah.
I think I set up each of these characters. Did I? Yeah. So
I see
think-
Pavel and Shadow. I'm good.
Let me know
I
if any
can't
of you
move my
can't
own.
move. You can't. Okay, let me.
Yeah.
Okay, Pavel's moving. Let's try Shadow.
I
Yep.
can't move Honor.
It's all good.
There's Rockjaw.
Yep.
And there's Honor. Honor. You should be able to move now. Okay.
Yeah. I got her.
All right. So you've descended now down into area K62. So
There's a sign that says
this hall
K62 here.
stands in deadly silence. Heavy beams support a sagging 10-foot high ceiling. Fog clings to the floor, obscuring everything that lies less than 3 feet above it. A giant shadow lurches across the ceiling as a dark figure shuffles purposefully down the corridor toward you. And I'm going to give you a handout for this guy that you have just encountered here. Where is he? There we go. Okay. Right. You recognize, those of you who had been to the abbot, that he seems to be a mongrel folk, like the various inhabitants of the abbey. So basically, he stumbles up toward you and is carrying a lantern. He has a loop of twine around his neck, hanging from which is an iron key, and a decorative wooden pendant fitted with a varnished human eyeball. Those are hanging around his neck, and you can see that he's kind of got a lot of sort of dog-leg features, except his one of his feet looks almost like a webbed, like chicken leg. And let's see. I think as he looks at you and sees you, he's just going to say, "Oh, no, what are you doing here? Now, this is for service only. You need to be heading up to your own room. I can show you the way if you want."
We have business here. You can
Yeah.
either be in our way briefly or out of our way as long as you like.
Well, excuse me if I'm trying to be a servant and do a servant's job by showing Strahd's guests to their rooms.
Yeah.
Is he getting out of our way?
Well, okay, so first of all, let me reveal his little token because they put it on the GM only layer. What is happening? Something is, something was. It's okay. Something
that
is
earlier,
scrolling
too.
the map.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Okay, yeah. So there's this little guy here, so he's just so he's just kind of like Look, it's dangerous down here. I'm just trying to help you out, is all. It seems like you must be lost. You wouldn't be heading down here on purpose. That would be crazy.
We are heading down here on purpose.
Yeah,
Give me
we are
your
a little
key.
bit crazy.
What? Yeah, Rockjaw said, give me your key. Is what
Yes,
Yep.
that's what he said.
he kind of grabs it. He's like, well, I need this key to do my job, I do.
Consider yourself fired. And I'll kind of heft my axe a little bit threateningly.
And he kind of just says, all right, well, don't say I didn't warn you. And he takes it around and hands it to you and says, now, just so you know, the master doesn't like rude visitors barging into where they not belong, and I can't be responsible for your safety if you're not following my instructions.
If he doesn't like it, it's all the better. I'll hand the key to Zia. I don't really care about it.
Okay.
Okay, I've got the key now.
All right, so he's kind of just going to stand aside and let you do what you're going to do then, if you're not listening to him. From
That's
here,
exactly what we're doing.
yeah, from this hallway, you can see arched frames of stone. This is to the east here. Arched frames of stone form a low, wet ceiling over this wine cellar. Great casks line the walls, their bands rusting, and their contents long since spilled onto the floor. A few hungry rats make their home here, but upon your sudden arrival, they retreat to the shadows.
Yes.
Good
Those
thing Jerry
doors
was
down at
here.
the end look. Let's just continue down this corridor, whose end is in shadows because our light only reaches 30 feet.
I can see it.
Yeah. So you see that as if you were to proceed along this hallway, there are 3 doors on the north side, 1 on the south, and 1 at the end of the hallway.
What
The
do we
one
look
at the end looks like it goes in the right direction.
All right.
Do these other doors have any markings on them, or?
No, they're just kind of ordinary wooden doors.
Right.
Where are we in relation to Argenfastholt's skull?
I can cast the
Okay.
spell again if you wished me to expend this the
No.
energy. I believe that we need to move west that way, and perhaps south a bit. I can't tell exactly, but this corridor is going in the right direction.
Okay,
Okay.
so through those double doors at the end of the hall.
We
wonder
can just
what-
barely make out in the dimness. Yes.
Okay. Yep.
Should we
So
not raid everything we can take along the way? And destroy what?
as you move towards that door, Cyrus just kind of says, "Oh, well, normally we wouldn't have people down here, but I've got some pretty things I've put together in that room. I think you'll be impressed."
Can I tell if he's trying to goad me?
Make an insight check.
Probably not, but we'll see.
Uh,
Yeah.
It's hard to tell. He seems crazy.
All the mongrel folk seem crazy.
Is the door locked?
Nope. And so as you push it open, you see a room. Dark stains cover the floor of this area. Large oak tables, scarred and beaten, lay scattered like toys about the room, their wood crushed and splintered. Replacing them are furnishings made entirely of human bones. The walls and the 20-foot-high vaulted ceiling are a sickly yellow color, not because of faded or time-worn plaster, but because they are adorned with bones and skulls arranged in a morbidly decorative fashion, giving the room a cathedral-like quality. 4 enormous mounds of bones occupy the corners of this ossuary, and garlands of skulls extend from these mounds to a chandelier of bones that hangs from the ceiling above a long table constructed of bones in the center of the room. 10 chairs made of bones and festooned with decorative skulls surround the table, resting atop which is an ornate, bowl-shaped vessel made of bones.
Bones.
I'm just hearing bones, bones.
The doors
bones,
of
bones.
the north and south are sheathed in bone, but the steel-banded double doors in the center of the east wall that you just came through are not. Above these eastern doors is mounted the skull of a dragon.
Aha!
Aha!
Can I make a grab for our small companion here?
this guy who's kind of just following.
Cyrus?
Is he just following along?
Yeah, he's just, as he sees you all taking it in, and says, "See, it took me a long time, but I'm pretty pleased with the results."
How big is that skull?
You would guess that it weighs about 250 pounds.
Oh,
Whoa.
my third skull.
Quite a collection you're amassing.
It is definitely, like, it's the size of a small creature just all by itself.
Okay, how... so it's above the door. How many feet above the floor is the skull hanging?
It's like about 10 feet, 10, 12 feet.
Well, we did not find the catacombs. I am disappointed.
There's more doors.
That's true. And hey, little guy,
Yeah,
where did you get all the bones for this?
Oh, well, not lacking for human bones around here.
Yeah, I imagined not. All right.
Most amusing.
Previous guests, I suppose.
Well, yeah, sometimes people come here and think that they could actually try to fight Strahd. Isn't that crazy?
Ha.
So, do we want to do anything with this skull? I don't see an easy way to transport it unless we decide we're going to leave now. And I do not think that is our aim.
Well, I think Shadow says, well, I don't want to necessarily speak for the group, but I have the feeling that if we were able to return it to Argynvostholt, it would do something. Relight the beacon.
Yeah, but at this point, we know it is here. Perhaps if we decide that we need to leave and come back at a later date, it would be good to grab it on our way out. But explore some more before we do that.
Could we use a polymorph spell to make it something small and stick it in the pocket?
No,
It is not a creature.
Yeah, I mean, a spell like
Yeah.
Enlarge Reduce could, but not,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
two
because I
polymorph
just
machines
have a
on.
feeling we're probably going to be leaving this place at a run and won't have the chance to come back and get it.
We can move it by the door. I'll pick it up like I did my last skull.
well, I mean, it is up 10, 12 feet off the ground and mounted to the wall.
There are chairs.
There are.
Well, we also have Shadow could turn herself into something and grab it off the wall, fly up there and grab it or something.
Seems like a waste of energy.
I think this little guy along with you, just seems completely at ease now with the idea that you're not listening to him, but he just kind of says, "Are you guys talking about taking the dragon skull?"
And we're just ignoring him. We're talking about it, we're ignoring him.
Well, Master, that's one of his favorite pieces. I don't think he'd be too pleased with that.
It would piss him off.
If we
Well, yeah.
If we take it, we would need to leave immediately, and Strahd would use his minions against whatever place we brought it to. I am of two minds. What the rest of you think?
I think we should take it off the wall just to piss him off and pick it up on our way out.
I am inclined to agree.
Because Rockjaw is so strong, just as kind of a ruling here, I would allow that he can basically he could carry it by himself, but not at full speed, and it takes his hands to do. Well, so I will say, if he's using both hands to hold it, he can move full speed, but would have to put it down to do anything else.
Is it hollow?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's dead. It doesn't have a brain in it or anything.
Can I wear it like a hat?
Wear it like a freaking suit of armor.
Not and be able to see.
No, I was pretty much expecting I wouldn't be able to see.
Yeah.
I could turn it backwards like all the cool kids.
Yeah.
So I'll say if Rockjaw is holding it with both hands, he can carry it.
I'm willing to give that a try.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll step in.
I'm going to use Baba Lizaga's flying skull as a token to indicate that you're carrying it with you.
Whatever you do, the universe tells you not to shrink it down and put it in a bag of holding.
I was just so pleased with that development. I love that. Just the difficulty of like, yeah, you guys really didn't think that through.
I'd like to
okay.
think we were sabotaged because it was the saboteur or saboteurs that did it.
Well, I don't know if she had that in mind, though. Well,
Yeah.
But
Another
it's true.
game.
It's true that she was secretly not on your side. I don't.
For those of you who are not listening to Christiana's other actual play, they're talking about another game.
So many levels.
Let's see. Let's see if I can give you the ability to.
I can drag the skull myself.
Yeah, I
Think it's a
don't.
creature.
I mean, in theory, I should be able to assign it to. Let's see. Yeah, I should be able to make you. Yeah, there we go. I can make you able to move the token.
I own a skull. Hardcore.
Yeah.
All right.
And so now you've got to remember to put it on all the other maps.
Fine.
Let's explore this level before we go any further.
I'm just going to drag it out into the hallway while
right.
we do the rest of the exploration. I'm literally just like, I can piss Strahd off this way.
Okay.
Awesome.
I think Cyrus at this point is just going to say, I think that you are going to get yourselves in trouble, and I just as soon not get blamed, so have fun. And he's going to start to leave.
Okay.
Do we want him with us?
If Strahd does not know we are here and what we are doing, I would be very surprised.
Yeah.
Still, I can throw him down the hallway and see if he triggers anything.
He's going back up the stairs that you came down.
Yeah. All right. Let's go south.
Okay. Let me reveal that room for you. Okay. As you open that door to the south, the door is really gross and covered with bones. You see the 10-foot wide arched corridor is cold and moist. The cold seems to emanate from an open archway in the west wall. And then if you proceed into that hallway to where the archway is here,
Yes.
you'll see that sickly yellow lichen covers the ceiling of this cold, damp, 10-foot wide passage running east and west. Opening off both sides of this passage are 10-foot square alcoves that contain rotting cots, rags, and the skeletal remains of castle guards. A deathly silence fills the hall.
Well, this is definitely not catacombs.
The hallway that you kind of just entered continues towards the end and then turns to the left, at which point there are stairs that go up.
Up. Okay.
What is all this room? What are these things?
This is an old barracks of some sort.
They seem to be guard quarters of some kind.
Yes. All right. Let's go back to that door to the north end of the morbid banquet hall.
I'm going to have a poke around to see if there's...
Okay. As you approach one of these cots, all of a sudden you all hear the rattling of skeletons as 10 skeletons wake up and attack you.
Okay.
It's initiative time.
Yep, roll an initiative.
Pavel, I think you should be here.
Pavel comes running back in.
Alright, let me bring all of these onto the appropriate layer. Let me first clear the existing turn order tracker. So now if I could have each of you roll initiative.
And remember to select your token when you do it.
Yep.
Not bad.
Oh, wait. Do I control Shadow's character sheet, or do you?
I'll run her from a character perspective. I just don't
Okay,
want to
so you
have
can-
to
so you
remember
can
to
roll
keep moving the
initiative for her.
token around.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, I will roll initiative for Shadow. And let's increase the size of this so that it shows everybody. And then also, go ahead and roll for the skeletons. Which, you know, just as a description is concerned, looks like a skeleton, except usually skeletons don't, stand up and fight you. Go ahead and give you a skeleton handout.
Okay.
Oh, nice. That's
At least they're solid.
interesting looking sword.
All right. They have a short sword and a short bow. And now they're rolling initiative, and what do they get? They get 15. So. All right. Okay, so Shadow is up first, and I think that she's going to... She has cantrips. I think she is just going to summon a bit of fire into her hand. I'm going to use the produce flame cantrip, and she's going to hurl that at one of the nearest skeletons. That's a ranged spell attack. Which is D20 plus 7 for her. She's attacking, I'm going to say, the first one on the left. And a 15 definitely hits the skeleton, and so it's going to take
2d8 damage?
2d8, yep. 2d8. That's so 9 damage to that skeleton, which is pretty significant. So yeah, so as she summons fire into her hand and hurls it at that skeleton, it blasts away a lot of the sort of rotting armor off of it, and you can see that many of the bones are scorched. And then, so that's her turn. Honor, you're up.
Okay.
Use the blood spear so you can get that hit point buff.
I just
Kill that
realized,
weakest one.
too, by the way, that there is actually an ambiance called Vampire's Castle. So I think I'll probably switch us to that one.
Okay. Let's see. Which one, Christiana, which one did she hit?
The first
She
one
said
on
the
the
first
left.
one on the left, which I believe is that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so that one?
Mhm.
Okay, so I'm going to run up to it and hit it with a blood spear.
Okay. Vampire's Castle.
17?
17 definitely hits.
7?
Okay. 7 damage is enough to reduce that one to 0.
Oh, very nice on the thunder. Went from one speaker to the other.
All right. So that one is dead. And so you reduced it to 0. You get your 2d. Nice.
Oh, yes!
Alright, so here's a question. Do I keep the temporary hit points I already had after the long rest?
No.
Okay.
So after the long, okay, I think technically you keep them until they get lost, but you don't. They don't stack.
Right.
So
the
if 12
roll
is more
a
than you
number that's higher
had,
than-
you now have 12.
Okay.
Every time you roll temporary hit points, you only get that number if it's more than the number of temporary hit points you have at that moment.
Right, and then
Okay.
you don't add them. They just. Yeah. All right. So that's your turn. Anubis is not currently adjacent to an enemy, so no coordinated attack this round.
Right.
Zia.
Okay, Zia is going to shoot his firebolt at the first skeleton on the right.
Okay.
He
Incidentally,
raises-
the organ we're hearing in the on the track here, you guys actually realize you do kind of vaguely hear that echoing through the halls.
Great. He is a bard.
All right. Firebolt at the first one on the right.
Raises his crossbow. Whoosh.
Okay. Yeah.
Critical.
So, critical.
22 damage.
It just explodes. Just yeah. So that one is also dead.
All right. 20% through the field.
Yeah. All right. Anubis, Anubis's turn.
Okay, so he is going to.
And after his turn, Z is going to step behind Pavel.
Now look. Anubis, there's only one thing Anubis can do here because a dog has never seen this many bones in one place.
He just came through. No, you guys just came from the room where everything is bones.
Okay,
There's
almost.
definitely more
Yeah.
bones in that.
You
He
did see
whines
him
a little, looking back at the room with all the bones.
Instinctive berry
him
rising.
digging around in here. He was like digging around in this little cairn thing that Esmeralda's on top of. All right, so he's going to try and grab himself a femur.
Okay. So he's not attacking this round, or is he attacking?
Well, he is. He is
okay,
attacking.
I see. Okay, I thought you were still having him dig where he's grabbing a femur out of the pile.
No.
Okay. No, he's attacking that one. So
Yeah.
24 hits. Yeah.
10.
10. So he is doing this thing, great bodily harm, but not all the way to destruction. However, it's going to make a strength saving throw to try to not be prone. Looks like it just makes it. So, not prone, but damaged. Anubis is growling and shaking it, is kind of pulling it apart. All right. But it is now the skeleton's turn. The one that was just attacked by Anubis is going to try to stab him with its short sword. 17.
That does hit.
Okay, so that's 6 piercing damage. Alright. And then I think the 4 that are furthest back are coming out into the hallway here, and they're going to be firing their short bows. I think 2 of them at Rockjaw, 1 at... actually, Rockjaw hasn't taken a turn yet, right? He's just standing there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he and I go last.
Okay, so I'm going to say 1 each for Rockjaw and Honor, and then 2 at Pavel, who's kind of just standing there right, like, in the center of the hallway.
Would we have
Just
cover?
being a human shield for Zia.
No, because I'm saying that, like, this guy is firing at Honor, so no cover. This guy is firing at Rockjaw, and then these 2 are firing at Pavel. So first the one against Rockjaw. It's a 16.
That hits.
All right, and 5 piercing because you're not raging yet.
Yep.
Okay, at Honor, 9.
Misses.
This is okay, and now 2 at Pavel. Ooh, that's a crit, and a 10. So I think the 10 probably misses, but that's 12 piercing damage from the critical hit.
Okay.
Huh, it's not letting me zoom the map. Oh, there we go. Okay, so that's those 4 skeletons, and then the other 4 that were a little closer. Okay, the one that was by Anubis already attacked him, so I think this one's going to come in and attack Anubis as well. That's a 20 natural, so that's another 7 piercing. And then I think these other 2 are coming, and we're going to get another one, another short sword against Honor and another against Rockjaw. So against Honor, it's 11. Against Rockjaw, critical miss. I think that one, it stumbles out of its bed and then falls on the floor because it realizes its left foot didn't come with it. So I'm going to say that one's prone. It's prone because it fell down, but then you also see that its foot seems to be its foot
Hopping
was
along behind it.
Yeah, so it hops along and then joins up with the rest of it. But prone. All right, so and that is the skeleton's turns. Esmeralda's turn.
Esmeralda charges in. She's going to start by attacking with her hand axe.
Okay.
And I'm using that. I think that okay.
Did she not give the hand axe to Rockjaw?
Oh yeah, she did. Do these skeletons show resistance to the piercing that we've seen in other editions? Or is that...
You get the impression that although they might be especially fragile to bludgeoning, they're not resistant to other types.
All right, then she's going to use her +1 rapier.
Right.
Her first attack against the one that's down. That's going to be an advantage, right?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
23, 12 damage.
Yep. It is almost destroyed.
Okay. Hit it again.
Right.
25,
Yes,
another 12.
definitely, yeah. So she destroys that one.
And the short sword at the remaining one. 18.
All right, 18 also hits.
Okay, so 9 damage on that one.
Okay.
It's kind of ironic that these the dead skeletons have the skull and the crossbones on them.
Yeah. Means you come back to life, right?
All right, yeah. So she finished off one and has significantly damaged the other that was right there. Okay, Rockjaw, you're up.
Oh, it was right there, and it moved. Move over. So I have a couple of them with me.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of on the backswing, hit for the one behind me. And on the forward swing, hit the one in front of me.
Yeah, just like.
I'll do so recklessly because that sounds like fun. They have nothing to teach me. So that's 24 to hit.
Okay.
Reckless.
Okay. Is reckless only when you're raging or no?
No.
Okay.
No,
So
it can be done
yeah,
anytime.
24 definitely hits.
It just also kind of is very dangerous when I'm raging. And I don't get the rage damage out
Yeah.
of it. I get the
So I think when you find yourself swinging forward for the other one, you find that you have the head from the one behind you stuck on your axe.
Roger, leave some for the blood spear.
and then smash the one in front of me for another, that's 28 to
Yeah.
hit.
Mm-hmm.
For another 9 damage.
Yeah. So that one is not destroyed, but is damaged significantly.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Pavel.
All right, I am going to, now that the path is clear, because
Yeah.
that one right in front of me is down.
Yep. There's
The
two.
the two way at the end of the hallway, the one that would be on my right, is about to get sacred flamed.
All right. So it makes a
This-
dexterity saving throw.
Yep.
Gets a 10, so that's not a save, definitely, but only 2 damage, alas.
Vulnerable to radiant? Any chance?
Wait, hang on. It should be. Okay, yeah, that was 2d8. You just literally rolled 1s on both d8s. Okay. Not
What did I ever do to these dice?
Sacred match.
So the radiant flame streaks out at it, and it does burn it a little bit, but it seems to have expected that to be more. It like goes. All right.
Back to the top of the list.
Yep.
Yep,
So that's Shadow again. The produced flame, I think, worked well enough last time that she's gonna come up like around here and do that again at the one that is engaged with Anubis. So produce flame, but I still have to just roll it. D20. Oh, you know what? She should have it. No, she doesn't have it set up as one of the attacks on the main sheet. All right, so yeah, that'll hit. 2d8. 11, and so yeah, she destroys the one that's currently fighting with Anubis.
Yeah. And Anubis is very happy with his nice big femur.
Flaming femur.
The little
Okay.
little bit of stuff burning on the end of it.
Yeah.
It's got a torch. It's got a torch of his own.
Yeah. All right, so that was Shadow's turn. Honor.
Okay. I'm gonna get out of the crush.
Anubis will be able to fight the one that's damaged there by Rockjaw.
If it survives
with a
on his
coordinated
attack.
attack, yeah. But
Yeah.
I just mean if you were to attack a different one, Anubis could bite that one.
Oh yeah.
Well, no, he has the coordinated attack. We attack the same enemy.
Does it have to be the same?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, I had not had that impression. I think it's more just a matter of like you can give him an extra attack by saying, but he has to be where he can attack something.
Right.
So I will rule that he can attack a different creature than you, if you want.
Okay. Okay. No, that's fine. I'm actually. I'm happy with the temporary hit points I have.
Yep.
So I'm going to use crossbow on this one that Pavel hit and
Okay.
very nearly. So let's see if this will work. Nope.
Unfortunately, yeah, an 8 does not hit. But I think you can have Anubis bite the one that's adjacent to him.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's the way I read it too.
Okay.
And that's a crit. So yeah, I'll tell you that like that one's damaged enough already. Yeah, definitely. He grabs that one by the leg and then just shakes the whole thing apart.
Yeah. And now he has 2 femurs, and so he's very happy. He's looking at me like, "You're going to take these with you, right?"
Okay, that's 6 down and 4 to go, but it is so now it's Zia's turn.
Okay, Zia is going to run forward, take cover behind that wall so that the 3 skeletons, the 3 northernmost skeletons can't see him, and fire his crossbow at the one that can see it.
All right,
No, not fire his crossbow. He's going to fire firebolts.
firebolt.
Right. 25.
Yep, that hits.
16 damage.
Destroyed. Yeah, bursts apart in a fiery bolt of some kind. All right. So now it is Anubis's turn. There are 3 skeletons remaining.
Okay. So
And one of them is damaged.
A little bit. Yeah.
a little bit.
Not a lot.
Yeah.
Sacred match.
He's going to run up and grab this one.
Okay.
And bite.
All right.
20?
Yeah, 20 hits.
And 13.
That is actually just enough. So he shakes that one to pieces too. Yep. All right. So it is the skeleton's turn. Only 2 left, but they're both gonna just attack Anubis with their short swords. It's a 15 and an 8.
Mm-mm.
They
Neither
both
one of them
miss.
hit.
Anubis is a spry critter.
He's
Name.
tricky.
Tricky. Yep. Esmeralda's turn.
Really, attacking a wolf with a sword, they have no guts.
They literally have no guts.
Esmeralda will stride forward to get a clear line of sight. And actually, you know what? Hold on. 10, 20, 30. Yeah, she can get within range.
Yep.
She's going to keep on going with the rapier. That's been
Okay.
working pretty well. She's going to attack the one that got Sacred Sparked.
That's the one on the top. Yep.
13.
13 hits. It's exactly what you need, actually.
Okay, 6 damage. Another attack for 13 damage.
Yeah, the 13 one finishes it off.
Okay, and the short sword against the other one.
Okay.
Oh,
Critical
yeah.
hit.
All right. Yeah, so that's
Nice.
definitely a hit. It is not destroyed, though, with 8. So it is damaged, but still up. Okay. Rockjaw, there's one left. Esmeralda's about to finish it off, it looks like. Are you going to let that stand?
No, but there's not a lot of room there. Excuse me, coming through. And it looks kind of wounded anyway, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I'm
yeah.
not going to use the great axe. I'm going to just sort of hang it with one hand and then backhand it
All right, unarmed strike.
Yep.
All right, 18 hits.
So 10
Yep.
the back of my hand.
Yep. The blows just scatter and clatter against the wall. And you have defeated all of the skeletons. Let's hope all of the encounters in Castle Ravenloft go so smoothly for you.
No, they won't.
I thought this was the only one we were going to have.
Yeah, you win. You won the game. Turns out that those skeletons were the secret power to Strahd's rule.
Okay, Anubis, Christmas time.
Do you think
right.
it is worthwhile to search this area, or should we just move on? There's another door.
It's pretty much just rotted cots.
Are any of the shields in workable condition?
No.
Okay.
All right, do we want to go up those stairs off to the east, or should we go back in the room where we
I
started?
want to keep looking around in the underground here. I am still looking for those crypts.
Be
Okay.
careful of these things. They could sneak up behind us.
Yes,
Sure
I'm
that we
sure
know
they will
alive.
reformat for a certain amount of time. That's just how these things work. But not right away,
Okay.
most likely.
So, back in the Hall of Bones, there is a door on the north, and then, of course, the doors that go back into that hallway that you came in from.
We're going to go to the north.
All right. As you pass through that door, let's go ahead and reveal that room. And I am going to make a random encounter check. Okay, as you enter that door, this 30-foot square room is a shambles. Scattered furniture lies in heaps near the walls. Broken bones lie scattered amid crumpled and crushed plate armor. Shields and swords jut from the walls as if driven into them by some tremendous force.
Oh no.
Two doors
broken
stand
furniture.
two doors stand opposite one another in the center of the north wall and the south wall, the ones that you just came from. A dark archway leads out through the east wall.
What?
These shields, do any of them look good?
They're all stuck in the wall and look like that, whatever made them do that, has ruined them. So you could probably pull them out of the wall, but they're ruined now.
Zia goes over to this archway and peers down through that dark archway.
This dark passage runs for 20 feet, connecting an archway to the west with an ascending stone staircase to the east. To the north and south are 4 10-foot square alcoves cluttered with rotting cots and dirty rags like you saw in the other room. The ceilings here are covered with yellow lichen. The cots seem marginally fancier.
Okay. Officers' quarters.
Quarters.
Let's
Are there
go through
any
this door to the
officers?
north.
Okay. The door to the north?
Yes.
All right. Let me reveal that. Okay. So, in that room, this shadowy room is in perfect order. A great table stands here with its chair, inkwell, and quill set carefully in place. Lances, swords, and shields that bear the Barovian crest are hung neatly on the dark oak-paneled walls.
Okay. Let's have a look at this desk.
Yep.
Okay, one moment. That little laughing.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I just think when I hear the orky music, I'm thinking player piano in the back, and he's just kind of miming over the keys, pretending he can play.
Okay, so you guys are, inspecting this room. Make perception checks.
I'm gonna stay and watch, just in case.
21.
18.
So,
Pavel gets 24. Correct.
So here's how the order this happens in. Let's see Okay. Zia is inspecting the desk first. I think that's what you said, right? Correct?
Yep. I think.
Okay.
Pretty sure that's what he said.
Well, I just was kind of going to Nobilis for confirmation. He didn't answer me.
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's all right. You see that the book on top of the desk seems to be like a ledger and journal of some sort, and you see that there's stationery that says "From the desk of Rahadin."
Aha! This is our friend, the assassin there.
Yep, it's a very neat desk otherwise. Honor, as you're sort of checking around the perimeter of the room, you spot a secret door.
Ah, very good, Honor. This is the kind of thing we are looking for.
Yes. Let me reveal that. And then you, Pavel, are kind of making sure everything's good. We're not about to be attacked by something, and then you realize you're about to be attacked by something. So we're actually going to have a surprise round for everyone but Pavel. This thing literally rolled a 23 on its stealth check.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So basically, you can all, I think, re-roll your initiative as long as you have your token selected. I think it should just update your one that's on the.
Yep, it did.
Okay.
This initiative is even worse than the last one.
Nope. I need to go back to the 16. Oh, well.
Yeah, same thing.
Okay. So all right, let me just. So, Honor. Okay, so did it update the tracker for you guys or no?
Yes.
Yes,
Sadly, it did. Yes.
All right, so I'll re-roll for Shadow. She doesn't get the credit for her super high roll twice. Except for she rolled super high again. All right.
It kind of did.
Yeah. Okay. However, it is still a surprise round for everyone but Pavel. So the Shadow Demon rolled lower than Pavel did, which means Pavel, you, with lightning reflexes, see the shadows starting to solidify into an imp-like creature, and it looks like it's about to try to attack you guys, but you get to move first.
Cool. Hang on a second. I've got a spell in mind here. Just see if it's appropriate for this situation.
Remove imp.
They've been trying to do that on Game of Thrones for like 7 seasons. All right, yes, I'm going to cast Inflict Wounds on this shadow creature.
Okay.
So.
Okay, a 15 does hit.
Level 1, I guess.
That is a touch spell, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so 19 necrotic damage. And so you reach out and you touch this thing as it is emerging from the shadows. And you get the sense as it screeches at your touch that it is somewhat resistant to the necrotic damage that you attempted to inflict on it.
Oh.
Yeah, demons and necrotic damage, not a good idea.
Well, I mean, it's not a bad thing to try, but it didn't work out quite as effectively as you hoped, but it definitely hurt it. Okay, so now it's its turn, and it's going to attempt to return the favor by clawing you in the face. Looks like a 22.
That hits.
Wow.
Ooh.
And so you actually take is that 7 psychic
Ew.
and 7? It's probably supposed to be slashing damage and psychic damage, not both psychic. I'm thinking that's probably a slight error, but yeah. So that's 20 total damage as this thing just goes to town. It's like clawing at your face.
Oh,
You managed
okay.
to you touched, so you were like up by it. So I think probably the rest of you, before you even kind of fully realize what's happening, you have Pavel like saying, "Look out!" and he goes and he's doing something, but now he has got like an animate shadow just literally clawing at his face. You know what? I think I am going to put your little life bars back on so that I can reference.
Might become relevant in a moment.
Well, just so I know.
Yeah. All right. Well, I just updated my loss of 20 hit points, so
Okay.
so the number I got there is accurate.
All right. So now we are in the proper initiative order. So it's actually because of the bright light in this room from your light cantrip, Zia, it does not have any dramatic shadows to try to hide back in.
Right.
Okay, so Shadow's turn, and she's just right there. So, just as a general thing, you guys do seem like you are trying to conserve spell slots and such, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, I will, follow the example for her stuff. And she's going to, I guess, just do Produce Flame again. That's her damage cantrip that she's got. Yep. So, I keep forgetting I have to actually type the rules for that one.
Can you type them into the screen and rather than summon up the roll thing? Is there a shorthand for that?
I can add it as an attack, which I should probably go ahead and do. So 15 hits.
That's a ranged spell attack, right?
Okay. Yeah, you can also type /roll and then what you're.
Well, that's what I'm doing.
Okay.
I'm just I can because I'm using it repeatedly. So yeah, it.
Oh no, yeah.
I don't think it is resistant to fire damage. Oh, it is. Never mind. So yeah,
Okay.
she throws fire at it, and it also some of the fire just seems to sink into and be absorbed by the shadowy form.
Good to know.
All right. We've set up that attack. Let's see. Sufficient. And then damage 2d8. And then okay, so I'm setting this back up, but Esmeralda would be next, and I think even though she's not in that room, she would have heard what's
Oh no,
going on by
yeah.
now.
She runs in when she hears Pavel squealing, and and attacks with her rapier and hand axe. No, rapier and short sword.
Okay.
Okay, +1 rapier, 18.
Yep, 18 hits, and it
11
does,
damage.
and it does seem to take all of that damage.
Okay, and then a 14.
14, it also hits.
Okay. And now a silvered short sword. 26.
26 definitely hits. Yeah, the magic weapons really seem to be doing okay, silvered but not magic.
Right, yes.
So the +1 rapier, it squeals in pain as she stabs that into its flesh, and it seems to like almost pin it to the wall briefly, but it's still able to slip away afterwards. So it's still moving.
Does the short sword do damage? Do less damage?
Yeah, it did hurt it, just not all the way.
Okay.
All right. Okay. That was Esmeralda. Honor, you're up.
Okay. Well, there's a great big crush around this thing. Mm-hmm. So Honor's gonna step back a little bit to get some range in.
You can climb up onto the desk if you want.
Okay, climb up onto the desk and is gonna try and hit it with a crossbow.
Okay.
Crossbow bolt. Mm-hmm. 24.
Hits.
8 piercing.
All right. The bolt, partially, slips through its shadowy form, but it does take some of that damage. Half, to be precise. And you guys have definitely done some significant damage to it at this point.
Okay.
All right, that is Rockjaw's turn. You're missing all the action, Rockjaw.
Yeah, they've broken something. Heading through the door, barely able to see the tiny little whatever the hell it is behind the crush of people.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'll give it a try. For throwing the hand axe, is it still strength in this case?
No, it's dexterity to do
dexterity.
ranged. Yeah.
Let me make sure I build this properly. And it's a 1d6 was the proper...
1d6 slashing damage, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Crap, Anubis missed his combination attack.
Yeah.
Oh well, too many people.
And I'm just doing it real quick here. Okay. I think I got this right. Let's see if that does it.
All right, 17 hits.
So I hurl the hand axe at it for 8 slashing
All
damage.
right. Okay, you've got this thing on the ropes, but it's got some strength in it still. Anubis's turn, but it's kind of, I think, too tight around it for Anubis to get in there.
Yeah. So Anubis is actually going to back off and come back around
Okay.
to me.
All right, Zia.
Zia will climb up onto the desk next to Honor, and even though it's resistant, it's still the best attack he's got right now, and he's going to fire another firebolt.
All right.
11.
11 unfortunately misses.
Too many people crowded around.
Yeah.
Couldn't get a good shot.
Its shadowy form is ducking and weaving around. Okay, Pavel, you're up again. Okay, mace. Mace
Silent
to the
mace.
face. Yeah. So 19 hits. Okay. 3 bludgeoning damage, and it actually does not seem too worried about that.
You can move back if you want.
Well, that'll
it
provoke an
will-
attack of opportunity.
yeah.
So.
Only for one person.
Yeah, so it takes 1 point of damage from your mace, but I think you weren't able to get good leverage. Are you gonna stay up next to it? You're muted, Tim.
Sorry.
That's all right.
I figured you guys didn't want to hear me chewing peanuts. I'm going to move 1 square back.
Yeah. Okay, it is gonna claw out at you. Oh no!
Oh no.
Oh!
It was going to do that
crits.
anyway. Let's put it that way.
Holy crap! That's
So
a bad.
15 plus 34,
Yeah.
48.
That's a lot.
Holy crap!
Yeah, I think as you guys watch,
Where the hell are those healing potions?
yeah. What? So is that
You're a healer.
40?
I was at 40, and I just
Yeah.
lost 48.
Yeah. So
Oh.
as Pavel tries to scramble back, you see this thing lash out once more, and just it's like it looks like it tears into his throat, and he falls backward. And the physical wound is not as dramatic as it seems like his body is acting like it is.
Stop
So
being so
he falls
dramatic.
back unconscious. Okay, that's its turn. Shadow's turn again. This time she's got her produce flame again. A 12, unfortunately, is not a hit. She's a little too stunned by this thing.
I might suggest that Shadow, seeing the fallen ally, would step into intervening.
Oh, to step into the play, just to like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Yeah, so she's at least preventing it from getting at Pavel anymore. But her produce flame goes wide in the meantime. Esmeralda's turn.
Yeah, Esmeralda can't really get to him without inviting that kind of an attack herself, so she's gonna keep fighting.
That's alright, don't worry, I've got cure wounds.
20 hits.
24 hits,
Yeah.
and the rapier's a 19, so
Okay,
That's
so
a big chunk of damage
the-
there too.
Yeah, in fact, actually, the second hit with the rapier is enough to do it, as she stabs it and sort of just pins it to the wall like a bug, and it just and then just fades away like smoke.
I'm like, oh.
Yeah. So, it is dead, but I'm gonna have you make one death saving throw, Pavel. We're out of initiative, but I'll have you just make one throw.
Okay.
Although I think you guys are gonna heal him, so it's. So you can click where it says death saves, but it's also just you can roll an unmodified d20.
Okay.
That's your constitution, isn't it?
No, it's just a straight up.
Okay.
Where on the sheet does it say death saves? I'm not seeing it.
Actually,
Well,
click the
whatever.
word
Oh,
and
there it
saves.
is. Oh, yeah.
That would be a failure. All right, you guys. Pavel is unconscious on the floor.
I'm gonna go pick up my axe.
Okay.
Honor.
Yep,
What are you going to do with that axe?
Yeah,
This
I'll
is not a
cast
mercy
Cure
thing,
Wounds
is
on
it?
him.
Okay.
Give me.
Just like the horses. Give me room.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So Shadow can do it too, and so Shadow will. Maybe you guys
Well-
together can each. I don't know what. How do you want to handle it?
Third level spell, a second level.
I'm just gonna cast it at first level, because I don't have as many spell slots as a lot of other people do.
Yeah. I think I'll have. Yeah. So with 6 healing points, Pavel, you find yourself once again conscious, although feeling pretty poorly there on the floor. And then I think Shadow will do a second level cure wounds as well. So that's another 15.
Okay, so that gets me to 20.
Okay. Z is pretty cautious. He's going to give him the potion of greater healing that he just got.
Okay.
So,
Are you drinking it now?
Yes.
All right. Greater healing, I think. I want to say it's 44 plus 4. Let me confirm that. But you guys found a secret door. Okay. Where's my greater healing? Greater healing is 44 plus 4.
Okay, so it's total of 48 then?
no.
That's all right.
Or 4-sided dice.
44.
Oh, 4D. I thought you said 44, the number.
4d4
Damn.
plus
Try.
4. Yeah.
Good try.
I know. That would have been great, but no.
Here's how it would have. 44 plus 4.
Yeah.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me.
That's impossible.
No, wait.
It didn't.
Slash
You
R-
rolled 4d.
D.
You need 4d4 plus 4.
Oh. I had it right the first time I typed
How
it.
did all the zeros come in there? I don't understand.
All right, that's better.
Yeah,
Much
all right.
better.
Yeah, that's another 16.
So
You know,
37.
You drink it and feel, warmth, and the shadow that had sort of fallen over your mind, making you weak, is slipping away.
You might want to cast a spell on yourself as well.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
All right. So, once you open the secret door, you see that it has stairs going downward.
More stairs.
I'm going to just cast Cure Wounds on myself.
Okay.
And it's probably asking me what level I want to do that at. I'm just going to say 1. There we go. So another 9. All right. All right. That gives me a little breathing
That thing was
space at least.
surprisingly nasty.
It really was. I can't believe that one.
That critical hit was, yeah. Man.
It took 48 points on one hit. I don't think I've ever taken a hit like that before.
You took 60 in one hit on your previous character.
Yeah.
Oh, was that the one that did me in? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I kind of blocked it out of my memory, I guess.
Yeah.
It was a very vivid memory for me.
Okay.
Okay.
So there are stairs going down. You haven't explored all of this level, but where are you going?
This is promising. Definitely want to. We've explored all of this level that we can. Well, there's a few doors back.
Yeah, there were several doors that you hadn't gone through.
Do you want to check out the doors on that room back there? I don't think they are likely to have what we're looking for, but
They might have something useful.
yeah.
Maybe more of
Have
those stone.
we searched the desk?
The desk doesn't have anything else in it except like the ledger and just ink and paper and so on.
Okay.
Did anybody read the ledger?
It just
No.
has ordinary, sort of boring, like, you know.
Killed 3 villagers in Barovia today.
Yeah.
8 carrots. 8 carrots. Gonna eat turnips instead.
Turnips
Now-
taste nasty going back to carrots.
Here's a thought. Imagine if you hadn't already killed Rahadin and you got to fight him and the Shadow Demon in this room.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. All right.
Kill everything as we go. Gotcha.
All right, you're heading down then, or no?
My vote is to keep going down, but if you want to explore the rest of this level, I'm amenable.
I'm
And I literally have
downstairs.
just left the dragon skull in the hallway. It's like,
Yeah.
I'll be carrying it with me. Much as I
There aren't too many other rooms. I mean, it wouldn't take very long to open the doors and do a quick check.
If you wish, we can do that.
And we wouldn't want anything coming up behind us.
There are 1,000 things behind us already, but
Yeah.
if you want to go look, let's go look.
Yeah. Let's just take a couple of minutes and take a quick look.
Okay.
All right.
We'll go back there and look. Has Rockjaw's light spell gone out yet?
You know what? Just for the sake of it, if you guys want to just keep them going, we'll just
Well,
assume
yeah,
that you recast
but I'm kind of using them to keep track of time as well.
Oh, okay. I would say you have not been down here for an hour yet.
Okay.
It may be 20 minutes.
Okay, so we need to go through that door to the south. There isn't another door out of this room, is there?
Well,
Besides-
so
besides the
the
secret
room
one,
that
yeah.
you're in has only the one door and the secret door.
Yeah.
But going back to the hallway where you left the skull had, 4 doors that you hadn't gone through yet.
Okay. So do we want to go back to that hallway then?
That's what we're talking about. Then.
Okay.
So, just let me know which one you're going to first.
Which one on the left there? The one Rockjaw's next to.
Okay.
I am a professional door opener.
All right.
Yes.
Unless you charge more.
Okay.
You charge an awful lot.
Okay. So you open that room. This 20-foot square room is filled wall to wall with clutter. A long sagging bed sits to one side under a huge faded tapestry that depicts Castle Ravenloft. Dusty lanterns sit in various places, and bright curtains are draped haphazardly about the room. Thousands of pieces of junk cover the floor. Broken swords, crumpled shields, and helmets lie in piles all about.
Is the
Yeah.
junk room?
You make an investigation check.
Yeah, sure. That's what I thought.
You get the feeling that something has been living in this room that is not here now,
Hoarding.
and
Might have been our friend, the assassin.
As long as it's not
assassin?
broken furniture.
You mean
Yeah.
Furniture is terrible.
The Strahd's minion, whose office was just the other room.
Rahadin.
Yes.
Wow.
It's
I
pretty
would-
messy for someone as fussy as Rahadin. More likely Cyrus
Oh.
Bellevue.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Cyrus, yes.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yep.
check the next.
All right. So that one, I get to make a. Okay. As you enter that room, you realize that both of these doors enter the same room. A horrible odor of decay fills this steaming hot room. A huge pot bubbles over a blazing fire pit in the center of the room, its green, muddy contents churning. The far wall is lined with pegs, hanging from which are numerous large cooking implements, some of which could easily double as implements of torture.
I think the smell alone is torture.
Yeah.
Anybody hungry?
No.
Not anymore.
Yeah, not going down there.
Do we spot any like bottles with potions in them on the other side?
You would have to get closer to look at them more carefully.
Can I see it from the other door?
I mean, you can see. What did I describe? There's not anything that looks like it would be an intact good potion. It's kind of messy and sloppy.
Rahadim was a lousy cook too.
Or Cyrus is.
Or Cyrus.
All right. What
My
about them
money's
here?
on Cyrus.
Okay. So let me reveal. As you open the door, you see going down this dusty 10-foot wide, 30-foot long corridor has a flat ceiling 10 feet overhead. To the south, a web-filled stairway spirals down into darkness. The north end of the hall ends at a wooden door, which you just opened.
More downward stairs. These are good, but I think the secret door will be better.
Yeah.
At least we'll know if we have to leave quickly from another
Well,
door.
that way is not out, but
From the downstairs it would be.
it possibly might be a way we come back up. Yes.
Do we want to?
You also, I didn't reveal it, but you would probably be able to see it from the door. Is that there does seem to be a little bit of an alcove on that side.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do we want to like stash the skull in here to just keep it out of sight, or?
I was actually thinking of putting it in the secret panel area, but
Okay.
Yeah, that or the junk room.
let's
think
take a look in that alcove and see what is in there.
Okay.
All right. Who's doing that?
I will.
I'll I'll go too.
Weirdly, made you look like translucent as you moved into that space for some reason.
Ooh.
Okay. As you kind of turn and so Rockjaw kind of gets there first, and he's looking into it, and it's basically just an empty space.
Ah,
Look up, look down.
empty.
Are you like inspecting or anything? I mean, it looks empty.
Fool me.
Oh, I guess
I'll-
I can reveal the little shape of it.
Yeah.
Here. It's just basically another 10-foot square sort of
Huh.
space.
Is there some kind of wall around it? What's that? Perimeter?
I mean, so you guys don't see anything that makes it look anything other than like a 10-foot square. Bear in mind,
Okay.
this map is like the Roll20 map, and it's not always lining up 100% with the book descriptions. Like,
Oh, okay.
like those little bottle-looking things. Like the room description in the book doesn't describe that.
Okay.
So
Alright.
there's going to sometimes be things like that. Just as a heads up.
Okay.
So what you see
Okay.
at a glance is just a 10-foot square alcove.
Okay. All right. Well, then, let us go back to that secret door. I think that would be the best way to go forward.
Okay.
Okay.
And I'll grab the skull and we'll drag it over there.
Yeah. All right. So let me get the next map ready.
See, we were nice, Cristiano. We spent as much time on this map as we could.
Yeah.
Much appreciated. Thank you so much.
Give the DM a break day.
Well, she's already getting a break because of the lack of NPCs.
That's true.
Well, we've killed some of them before, so.
It's
Yeah.
almost like I planned it that way.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's start getting all you guys on there. Also read the description of where it is that you're going. There's so much in this castle that I can't really have, like, I don't know necessarily which way you're going to go, so I can't really know exactly which room is what. I have to really be looking at the...
Oh, no, I understand.
It feels like you kind of need an assistant who's doing a lot of these things for
You
you.
know, I have seen the book for this adventure in the stores multiple times, and it's taken all my willpower not to take it off the shelf and look at it.
Well, I'm glad that you resisted, because there's definitely spoilery things that you could...
I've stopped listening to some live plays that are going through, and suddenly they have a review or an actual thing of Raven. I was like, I don't want to know. If I'm gonna die, I want to be ignorant. Wait.
Alright. Let's get everybody on here. Okay. So, almost there. Shadow. And some of these big maps, too, slow everything down. Like the Roll20 moves slower on the great big maps, because there's just so much stuff. I'll go ahead and move you guys so you can see the new map. You're in kind of the upper left right now.
Oh, like the laugh. Very, very creepy.
This music, the background music as a whole is very creepy.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tabletop Audio.
Yeah. That thunder sound does really make it feel like in summer, which is actually a very good thing. I think I'm going to play that even in between game sessions.
Oh, I have a recording that's just an hour-long recording of a thunderstorm. I use it when I have trouble sleeping.
Oh, yeah. Or when I want inspiration, background sound. Or you should have that this track playing when you introduce the episodes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Strahd, if you can time it where the lightning happens to strike.
Well, I don't know if you've been listening to the podcast versions, but I do play the beginning of Toccata and Fugue in D minor when I introduce the episode.
I should watch or listen to those to find out what I've done wrong.
Like a little after-action report there, you know.
I'm not sure I want to know all the things I've done wrong.
So I've moved all the stuff, all the
get
people
all
on
of
there,
us like lined up watching, and you're up there. All right, now here when we were facing the werewolves.
So now, so as you in there, go ahead and put yourselves in whatever order you'd be going down the stairs in.
Are we at the top of the stairs on the right there? Or something?
I mean,
So,
towards the middle of the bag.
So
I'll put shadow behind me. Okay.
They're all moving on their own. It's kind of creepy.
Where's he at?
Every time I move someplace, somebody moves on top of me.
Okay. So
I will say that
let me know when
Rockjaw
you're all in your...
Rockjaw is looking at Esmeralda with a lot of respect with the two weapons that she's fighting with, and she's killing a lot of things. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
is that sort of good?
This is definitely a slow map. There's lots of stuff.
Quick run.
Okay, so as you guys are going down the stairs, hold on, stay up on their landing. Stuff's about to happen.
Hold your horses there.
Yep.
And the door creaks open.
Oh.
Okay, I'm fiddling with the token right now, but what happens basically as you reach that landing and turn to look further down? A sickly mist fills the stairway ahead and coalesces into the form of the vampire Strahd.
I knew
His
it.
eyes burning red with anger. You have worn out your welcome, he says. Whatever gods you believe in cannot save you now. We're rolling initiative.
Uh-oh.
And I'm trying to make this... Won't let me...
As soon as you said mist, I knew.
Yeah.
So, although we do have time left, I was kind of thinking that was going to be this cliffhanger. You turn the corner and there's Strahd. Oh, crap.
Well, I think this is whatever happens. It's going to take longer than a half an hour, so there's going to be a cliffhanger one way or the other.
Sure.
Yeah.
Unless he kills us all in like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
I think I fixed my initiative.
There we go.
All right.
No, I didn't. Shit. Oh.
Ugh.
I'm getting jealous of people.
You want to clear it out and
I for one would be more than happy to re-roll my initiative.
yeah, I would love to re-roll these.
Okay, so Zia, what is your correct number?
4.
4? Okay.
Esmeralda's 5.
Rockjaw, what was your correct number?
It's 8. I fixed it.
Okay, well, on mine I see 2 of them, so I'm fixing
Oh,
removing
okay.
the one
No,
that's
it's 8.
wrong.
I have to roll twice because I have advantage.
Esmeralda's was 5? Yes?
Yes, Esmeralda's 5.
Okay, Anubis. What was the correct one for Anubis?
12.
12. Okay. And
And
then for
Honor.
Honor was
19.
Okay. Looks like it was just the duplicates that were in that order. So let me roll for Shadow. Okay. Sending, and then let me roll initiative for your adversary. Come on. Okay, 16, and he's actually not showing up properly, but yeah, okay, so 16 is his, so that makes Shadow first up, and so, I don't know, what would you guys have Shadow do? Oh, wait, no, I didn't re-roll for Shadow, did I?
No,
I didn't.
Shadow was 11 and Strahd was
Yes,
16.
okay, you're right. Shadow was supposed to be 11. And I wrote something. Okay, so that actually makes you up first then, I guess, Honor.
Considering that I can't see anything.
I think you heard that. No.
Yeah,
No.
I did. I don't have very many good options. Alright, I guess I'll try for heavy crossbow, and since Strahd hasn't done anything yet, I get advantage.
Mm-hmm.
So 19.
19. And so you reach out and fire your crossbow, and you watch as the bolt goes right through him.
Ah,
Oh yay.
And he kind of grins.
Smoke and mirrors.
And then it is his turn, and just with an evil grin, he takes one step up the stairs towards you guys. Anubis' turn.
I'm a little leery. I'm gonna have Anubis hang back.
Okay. All right. It is Shadow's turn. She's kind of forced back against the, behind the pack too, and I think maybe she's going to say, "What? Do we go back the other way? What do you think?"
I suspect an illusion.
An illusion.
The bolt went right through him.
All right. So, what are we doing then?
When it gets to my initiative, I'm going to cast Detect Magic. Hold your action.
I think that. So, yeah, she'll hold her action then. Rockjaw, what about you?
I'm running forward with the hand axe.
Okay.
And I take my swings. Recklessly.
All right. Oh, I like the little note there. You swing out with the hand axe, and the axe just goes right through him.
I tried again. Because I don't learn the first time.
Yep. Just
Nothing there?
he just looks at you like,
Smoke and mirrors. You're scared to face us.
all right, Pavel.
Pavel is going to run to the top of the landing. And for lack of any better ideas, I'm going to cast Banishment.
It already knows it doesn't work. We already know it doesn't work.
Yeah.
So-
So that. Well, I think that. Remember that was that when. So that was when we were fighting Baba Saga. Remember, there was discussion that the banishment
Right.
spell won't work in this
Nothing to do here.
land.
Okay, glad you remembered that.
In fact, because you would probably have remembered that. Otherwise, I'll let you swap that spell out with something else because banishment just is not going to work.
On anything, anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, give me a second here to regroup.
Well,
We'll say.
please make your turn right now.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, I'm just saying it'll take forever.
I'm going to hold my action then.
Okay.
Well,
Sorry,
yeah.
I'm just saying. Okay.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it slows everything to crawl.
Sorry.
That's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
But yeah. So
Yeah.
Esmeralda, though.
Esmeralda, I don't believe she has detect magic. No. She's going to hold her action. Basically, waiting for Zia to give the word on what to do.
Okay.
If Zia says, "No, it's really him, unleash hell," then she's going to cast lightning bolt. Otherwise,
Okay. So she's holding her action then.
she's holding her action. Yeah.
Okay. So, as she holds her action, I actually had 2 Pavels on the thing again, so... but Pavel is holding his action. Zia, it is your turn.
Okay, Zia is going to step up and cast detect magic.
All right. As you do, this image of Strahd lights up with an aura of illusion magic.
It is an illusion. Ignore it. Keep going.
And then as you say that, it laughs, and then melts away like it's a wax sculpture.
It almost got me to cast one of my high-level spells.
Glad you did that.
Okay,
So continue down the stairs then?
onwards.
All right. Okay. So at the bottom of the stairs is a doorway.
Is it locked?
Nope.
Boot.
All right.
And since detect magic is a concentration spell, I might as well keep it up while we're going. So I've got another
Okay.
10 minutes on that.
Okay.
You detect even before going through the door that there's something very magical on the other side. So the as Rockjaw goes through the door, though, I think you are taking in the glance of the room. Which let me go ahead and I'll read the description of it. This room is 30 feet square, rising to a 20-foot tall flat ceiling. A stone brazier burns fiercely in the center of the room, but its tall white flame produces no heat. The rim of the brazier is carved with 7 cup-shaped indentations spaced evenly around the circumference. Within each indentation is a spherical stone, twice the diameter of a human eyeball, and made of a colored crystal. No 2 stones are the same color. Overhead, a wood-framed hourglass as tall and wide as a dwarf hangs 10 feet above the brazier, suspended from the ceiling by suspended from the ceiling by thick iron chains. All the sand is stuck in the upper portion of the hourglass, seemingly unable to run down into the bottom. Written in glowing script on the base of the hourglass is a verse written in common that you cannot read from the distance. You'd have to get closer. 2 9-foot-tall iron statues of knights on horseback, poised to charge with swords drawn, stand in deep alcoves facing each other. The brazier sits between them.
Oh, this does not look bad. Not at all.
What are these stones and the writing? What's this all about?
Whatever this is not a crypt.
Honor, as you're standing there, the door behind you suddenly opens behind you, revealing Strahd, who makes an unarmed strike on you.
Ah,
19?
Mm-hmm.
That's 11 bludgeoning and 18 necrotic damage. And then another unarmed strike, which is an 11. So that one, I think, reeling from the first attack, you are able to duck out of the way of the second. And then he just laughs and turns into a cloud of mist.
Piss off.
So if you guys want to try to pursue or something, I will allow you to try as the cloud of mist starts to move away.
what
Is it
direction
moving?
is it moving?
It
Back-
is moving back northward in, that doorway that he emerged from. So this door
I'm gonna-
opened, and the cloud of mist is going back in that direction.
Is that a doorway up or down? Is that stairs up or down?
The stairs go up, but not as high as it's like 10 feet up instead of like a full 40. Like you came 70 feet down from those last stairs.
Okay, maybe you want my perception check. I was standing right next to her when this happened.
Mm-hmm.
Did I see whether he was carrying the sun sword in a place where I could see it? Maybe make
You
perception check?
were, yeah, make a check, but it was a sudden thing that happened very fast, so you'll have to roll high.
Nope.
Yeah,
I did not roll
It
high.
happened too fast, and then he turned into a cloud of mist. So,
Okay.
yeah. So the mist is now starting to seep between cracks in the rocks, and it's gone.
Be careful standing near doors.
Yeah. I'm actually going to go ahead and cast Barkskin on myself.
Okay.
And go ahead and use that level 2 spell slot because my my AC is horrible.
All right. So
What?
now you have this room, and if you wanted to approach or inspect, like the brazier or something closer. Actually, I take it back. The hourglass of sweat had the script on it.
Yeah, I at least want to see what that script says.
Okay.
Don't read it out loud.
No, I'm not reading it out loud.
Yeah,
Look
Okay,
at these
so
statues.
he's
I will-
not
I will-
reading it out loud, but what
I'm gonna
it
go look
says
at the other
as he reads
statue.
it is, cast a stone into the fire, violet leads to the mountain spire, orange to the castle's peak, red if lore is what you seek, green to where the coffins hide, indigo to the master's bride, blue to ancient magic's womb, yellow to the master's tomb.
Couldn't have to be a handout for that. Was what
Yeah, right.
Let me think.
Anybody
Let me
taking
see
notes?
if there is. There might be.
rewind the recording.
Yeah. This appears to
Yeah,
be
yep,
some
there is
means of
actually. Yeah, there is a handout.
creating
good.
gateways to other parts of the castle.
Yeah, I've just shared this with you. Yeah.
And I think I want the green. I think we want the green one.
I had a feeling you were going to say that.
Okay. I am actually going to ask that rather than do that now because I want to have a week to think over my actions. But for the game master's benefit, because it is getting close to 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
I think I would like to cliffhanger us there rather than choosing one.
Okay.
But my initial plan, in order to make it easier for you for next time, is that we're going to throw the green stone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm good with that.
Okay. Well, so how about we cliffhanger at what happens?
Because I'm not 100% sure.
Well, don't tell me that that's the plan
Okay.
then if you're not sure that that's what.
All right. So, this it is clear. I think we need to use the green stone.
And what's it do?
So by some means, it will open a gateway or something that leads to the crypts, where the coffins hide. I think that is the purpose of this place is to take us to other portions of the castle. It's a shortcut, but if you do not trust it, we can keep on searching.
Whatever.
Yeah, let's try it.
Toss the green stone.
Zia walks over to the green stone and throws it into the fire.
Okay. So, this white, heatless flame in the brazier, as you toss the green stone into it, the flame turns to a vivid green color, and sand begins falling through the hourglass.
Zia steps into the fire.
It disappears.
Okay.
Anyone following him?
Yep.
All right.
Why not?
Sure.
One by one, the party steps into the green flame and vanishes. And we'll
Burning
find
up in
out
pain.
what happens next time on Passive Strahd.
Bum, bum, bum.
Cue the itsy bitsy spider.
My God, it is so tempting to just tell you what happens. You know
Nope.
what? You know what?
What?
It's done, so I'm going to tell you.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Wait a minute, it's done.
You've stepped through the flame.
Oh, crap.
As you, let's see. So this flash of light as you step into the, flames and find your vision clearing, you're in, let me get the actual description of this room, because it's, oh, where is it? Here we go. Here's the actual description of this room. This large, drafty room is strung with cobwebs and takes up most of the upper floor. Stacks of wooden planks lie amid several crates marked junk, but you realize you're now on the upper level of an ordinary wooden building. There are windows that lead to outside. And some of these crates, you realize, have been shattered open, and there are muddy footprints leading to the outside of the door.
Is this the Abbey?
If you go and look out the window, you want to see?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You see the half-burned town of Vallaki. Bum, bum, bum. Or is that more like a bum, 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 bum?
Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah, you have just teleported yourselves to Vallaki. Congratulations.
Oh, great.
All right, so, and we'll leave it there this time. So, yeah, well, now you know
Whose
how
bright
it
idea was
works.
to throw that rock?
All right,
Coffins,
so,
huh?
yeah. So we'll be back next time. It won't be next week or the week after though, because I will be traveling. But potentially our next time that we play could be the 10th.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good.
And we got a lot of walking to do.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, look, we got Viv in the chat. Hello, Viv.
Maybe it-
All right. So thank you, everybody, and we shall return for yet another journey to Castle Ravenloft.
because it was
At
so
least-
easy to get in the first time.
At least we landed here with almost all of our resources, so. And
true.
perhaps Pavel will get a chance to rest.
Yeah.
And no dragon skull though. After all that,
Nope, you
Oh,
left it.
man.
You left it behind up in the hallway.
Yeah.
After I
Because
told
we weren't
you
going the other way.
Yeah, man. If we had brought it with us on that thing, we could have had it halfway
Well,
to the temple.
next time we're here, we'll pick a different
No.
stone and grab the skull.
Yeah. I mean, we now have like at least part of one of his secrets for getting around so fast.
That's true.
And yeah, that's a this to me is like we know how to get there. We know how to get there without going through too much of his other shit. Right. I mean, if he wants to ambush us, he has to ambush us along a way that I think we made a lot of progress here.
I'm calling this a win. I think the team did well. I think management did well. Bonuses all around.
if they were so made that we could figure out the reverse portal from this building in Vallaki back to the castle.
Oh no, there's no. I mean, there's no evidence of like a portal leading back, right?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one way. It's one way. But
Sneaky poems.
yeah. But now we have. I mean, yeah. I
No, we did make progress. I mean, first of all, we got to see a good part of the castle, so we know a lot more about it than we did, at the beginning.
Yep.
And the coffins hide here. I don't know what that means yet, but
Yeah.
Well, they burned down the town. Maybe that's what it's referring to.
well, no. That's an old inscription.
yeah, there's
Yeah.
something else about the town.
The coffins hid here at some point. Clearly, there's no coffins here now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's
So-
boxes, right? Marked junk.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, and also, like I said, some of these crates are shattered open, and there's dirt spilled everywhere, and then muddy
Oh, okay.
footprints leading outside.
Okay, so those crates are Strahd's coffins, or some kind of vampire's coffins, that he would reform in. So if we can destroy these, that would leave him fewer
They-
places to reform.
These don't look like they were coffins, but hang on.
Well, the crates of dirt. Okay.
Yeah,
Is
there were crates of dirt,
Yeah.
but like crates, not coffin shapes.
But some of them are burst open and muddy footprints leading out means that something, came out of them. I don't think it's unreasonable to think that this is these crates of dirt are still Strahd's resources and we can destroy them.
Time to take a leak.
His version of holy water.
Feels godly to me.
All right. So
And with that,
next time on Curse of Strahd, and I'll go ahead and stop the stream now. So goodbye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.